coming right there.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday. I'm here. I got Emery-san, Emery Morgenstern, International Man of Mystery. Got him to join us tonight. You know, always great to have guests on the show. Emery, thanks for coming. Good stuff indeed. Good stuff indeed. I'm hoping you guys can see us. That's always bonus. Let's see. I got it coming up on this screen over here. And yes. Oh my God, that's bonus, right? I'm going to pause that one so I don't eat bandwidth. You learn these things, guys. You really do. You really do learn these things. So anyways, we got Emery. Emery's going to hang out with us tonight, which I think is pretty cool. We also got a sponsor tonight right here, Zydex. All right. If you've never heard of Zydex Computers, they do gaming, personal computers. They also do laptops. All right. Why do I care about gaming computers? Well, because I run a lot of programs that require a lot of bandwidth, and because a lot of our first-person shooter games for dry firing, stuff like that, they eat a lot of bandwidth, and a lot of people like gaming. So anyways, if you're one of those guys that's into gaming, for example, or you want super high-speed, privately owned computers, a lot of guys make their own. And that's cool. You can save money doing that. The problem, though, is most parts on computers die when you're actually assembling them, whether it's static electricity or whatever, or it's bad right out of the box. Zydex gives you literally a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. So if you bought that GPU off of Amazon or whatever, and you go to put it in, it's only got a 1-year warranty. A year later, or 13 months later, it shits the bed, you'd have to buy a new one. No, if you go with Zydex, and you're completely covered. It's made in Salt Lake City. It's all USA supports. Good stuff, guys. It really is. So, anyways, and if you like Emery and you like bling, because look at him, you can tell he likes his bling. Guys, they've got LED lighting and custom laser etching and all kinds of sexy stuff. If you go check out their website, they've got the most badass looking computers ever. So anyways, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Zydex, go check them out. They got you covered. All right, so anyways, Zydex, appreciate you guys supporting us here tonight. I see Emery has already lit the stove. Guys, if you can't see what Emery's doing, he's literally going to make us some Turkish coffee while we're sitting here. Not Israeli coffee.
God forbid.
God forbid.
God forbid. That's instant
so anyways,
coffee.
he's going to make Turkish coffee. I like Emery's coffee. It's got, what's the spice in it?
Cardamom.
It's got a unique taste. It kind of gives me flashbacks to the Middle East, and I just want to shoot people in the face. I'm trying to be calm tonight. I'll drink
as opposed
Emery.
to normal.
I know. I'll drink some of your coffee, but because I didn't know you were going to bring the coffee kit, I already made myself my usual 8 shots of espresso.
Wait. You didn't know I was going to bring a coffee kit.
You guys can actually see the flame over here, right?
I'm priming.
Don't set my desk on fire, Emery. Don't set my desk on fire.
Again.
You know what you could do, though?
What's that?
While you're waiting for that to warm up is above the wine rack in the bar, there's bottles of Cafe Patron XO, which we could put in our coffee and make it
Irish Arab coffee.
Triumphant. All right, but you don't have to do that. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not going to cry about it.
Away. Those of you interested in my coffee tonight, guys, I am rocking 5 Stone Frontline coffee. This stuff is badass. He's actually come and attended a bunch of mine and Emery's classes. He's good people right here in Kentucky. Just got into roasting coffee. He's a good guy. We've hit him up for a promo code for you guys. I don't get a dime. Off of it. Not a dime. Nothing. Use code TR10. I'm rocking the, I thought it was the espresso roast. Yeah, I'm rocking espresso roast. Why? Because I like espresso. I like my mud thick. So anyways, Emery showed up. You showed up last night. We grilled over at the shed. We did burgers, and we had the whole family out there. Great time. For my patrons out there, you guys know on Patreon, if you're not a member of our Patreon, you're completely missing out. But I do a quick shooting tip once a month. We do question and answer videos. We do all kinds of fun stuff. But one of the things I do is story time with Carl. Sometimes they're combat stories, sometimes they're training stories, whatever. So anyways, I'm sitting there and I was drawing a blank and I was like, well, I'll just bring the camera out around the fire and something will come to mind, because me and Emery always tell stories back and forth. Well, we're sitting there and Emery just all of a sudden starts rattling off a story and I'm like, hold up a second. And I went and turned on the camera. So, patrons, I think Nicholas already uploaded it to the internet. But anyways, we recorded it last night around the campfire. There might have been a little Helen's Finest drink. Just a little bit. But anyways, we do story time with Carl and Emery for my patrons. Again, guys, this will be at patreon.com/Tactical Rifleman. Those of you that like Tactical Rifleman content, cool. You get a lot more content. We put a lot of special stuff in just for our patrons. I got a great Patreon family. I'm getting ready to leave. I leave Sunday, going down to Texas. Emery's going to leave a day and a half later, 1 day later. He's towing down the Target trailer. So I have to get down there to Texas because I've never been to Tiger Valley before. I'm going to inspect the ranges and everything. And then if there's anything that we need Emery to grab off the range, Emery will toss it in the Target trailer and he's going to tow it down behind his truck. I hope his truck makes it. I think it will. We'll get one last trip out of the beach.
She's just going to have to.
She's going to have to. Or you park it on the side of the road, you get a rental.
Pull it.
Anyways, we're heading down to Texas. It is going to be awesome. We got 2 days of medical classes by Refuge Medical. You guys are familiar with Bear Independent and all his guys. They are teaching on Monday and Tuesday. That's 11th and 12th. That's this Sunday, this Monday and Tuesday coming up, guys. And they let me know they still have slots available for that 2-day medical class. So if you're interested, taking a 2-day medical class, you can sign up at refugetraining.com. Use code TR10, saves you 10% off tuition. So anyway, they're doing those 2 days while I'm setting up the range and everything. I'll be there visiting. I will. If you guys are doing the medical class, you'll see me around. I will come visit, I promise. But then we're doing Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine, Carbine Zero Mastery, Advanced Combat Pistol Carbine. All back to back. I'm not going to have a voice left. I'm going to be sunburned. It's going to be awesome. So anyways, classes are sold out, guys. I think I got 3 slots left for the advanced course.
We also have guest instructors.
We got great instructors coming. We got Rawson Herstoff. How do you say his last name?
Christoph.
Rawson Christoph. Whatever. He's Arab like Emery is. Anyways, Rawson, you guys know Rawson from Tactical Performance Center. If you want to master a pistol, he's got a 5-day course called Pistol Mastery. Handgun Mastery. It's 5 days.
The initial one is 3 days.
3 days long. Guys, 3 days, nothing but pistol. He doesn't get into combat shooting. He doesn't get into... No, it is all... The mechanics, muscle groups, everything. So anyways, he is going to be one of the instructors helping out with our Tactical Rifleman classes. Obviously, Emery's going to be there. We got Coach is going to be there. A lot of guys are familiar with Coach. If you go back and watch a lot of our older videos where we do the critical task evaluations, things like that, Coach is a guy that I actually use to demonstrate and help narrate those videos. Coach is a great instructor. I have learned a lot from Coach. Coach has learned a lot from me. We both made each other better shooters. That's why I bring Coach to these classes. So it's going to be a great time, guys. Really a great time. I see we got super chats and everything rolling in already. I got Mama Bear and the rest of our moderators are here. They're asking for a Lanny update. If you can just mention it. Actually, Susan, I was literally... just getting ready. So I'm going to go to Lanny Murphy's cell phone. And literally just a little while ago, I put Amanda, any update on Lanny. And guys, she hasn't answered me back. Those of you that don't know what we're talking about, one of our patrons, he's a retired Air Force veteran, lives in Northeast Texas. He's been a patron of ours for a while. He got diagnosed with terminal cancer. They basically gave him 4 months to live. That was a couple years ago. This boy has been fighting the good fight. In the chemo, in the radiation, in back and forth. And we cheer him on. And anyways, they've been, he had fluid buildup on his heart. He was at home. First time we saw him wearing oxygen on our Zoom live stream that we do. And we're like, ooh, Lanny's not looking good. A couple days later, I get a call from his daughter. His wife already passed away. His daughter put her entire life on pause to take care of her dad at home. And because of that, it's fixed income, literally. He requires 100% attention. Long story short, he went back into surgery, and I have not heard back. They had to take fluid off of his lungs. They're going to do another biopsy on his lungs. Honest, I wish I had an update. Hopefully my phone will ding with great news. Everybody that's been praying for Lanny, I want to thank you for keeping him in your prayers. I had the daughter start a GoFundMe because Lanny's house, the roof was shot, literally leaking, storms, everything else. So the insurance didn't cover everything because cost of materials, you know how insurance companies are, right? They're almost as bad as lawyers, and you all know lawyers should be like right between deer and turkey season. You get that, right? So I had her start a GoFundMe so that we could help out. Because literally, think about what these medical bills are going to be like. It's going to be crazy. So anyways, I wish I had good news. I really do. I wish I had good news. Right now, people, I don't have good news. Heather, Fly Fishes, I appreciate that. She just threw down a $20 super chat. We had a super chat come in earlier. What's his name? Brad. Brad had a question. He's getting ready to get a winch for the front of his Gladiator, which is a Jeep Wrangler. And his question was, on my Jeep, do I go with a synthetic winch line like Amsteel, or do you go with a traditional steel cable? Here's the deal. Your old rednecks and everybody will tell you steel lasts forever. And that steel lasts. They still use steel on the old battleships. Number one, understand all the battleships have been retired. All right, there are no more battleships. Okay, that's just the truth. But the reality is, and he specifically asked pros and cons. There are very few cons to synthetic cable. Number one, right off the bat, I want you to think safety. Yes, Amsteel is lighter. Amsteel actually floats. The synthetic winch lines float. All right, I don't care about that. What I care about is safety, and where safety comes into play with a winch is you stretch that cable. It has a certain percentage of stretch factor, and it's a lot more than people thinks that it is. And if you break that winch cable because you're pulling too much weight, literally that cable does like a slinky and just slingshots back in both directions, and it has actually cut people in half. It has cut people bad. It has broke arms. It has cut faces. It has taken eyes out. It's not just the cable breaking. Well, I'll inspect my cable. I'll make sure it's good cable. I have seen, me personally, in off-road driving classes down at Tier 1 group, we had the bolts holding the anchor point on the back of a Jeep Cherokee, the bolts broke. And that shackle with the winch hook on it came slingshotting back at the vehicle that had the steel winch cable, and it went right through the windshield. Fortunately, between the two seats, if it had hit right where the driver was like this. You understand? That would have sucked. Okay, I've seen it break the other way, and smash windows out. I've never seen anybody hit by it, but I've heard about it. I don't use conventional winch cable for that reason. Now, understand if you currently have conventional winch cable, steel cable, you get one kink, and you'll see guys, well, you can straighten it out if you're careful. You can, but understand one kink in that cable, you just lost about 30% of the strength of that cable. 30%.
Think about copper wire, right? When you bend it like this, every time you do it, it's work hardening, right? And it's getting weaker.
The only downside of synthetic cable, literally the only downside is that it is susceptible to UV light. That's it. So, Carl, what do I do? One, you can replace it every 3 years, or your cables have what they call a tree protector. It's basically a rub protector sleeve that slides on it. That part goes out through the winch, but the part that's exposed on my winch spool, I've got a little piece of closed cell foam pad that literally I cut into a rectangle and I fold it and I put it right over the cable on my winch so it does not get hit by any sunlight at all. No, people cannot see how pretty my blue winch cable is. I don't care. I'm not about being pretty. I'm not a pretty person, but my winch cable, synthetic is more expensive. I got that. I've broken synthetic. I have.
I was there.
He was there. I have broken conventional winch cables, but I have. If you see the shit that I'm winching, you'd be like, "Yeah, Carl, I was surprised you didn't rip the winch off the front of the bumper off."
I have a buddy in my unit who went to officer school. In Israel it works backwards. You go do your training, and then afterwards, if you're fit to be an officer, then you go to officer school. Well, while he was there, they were learning tank crap and whatever, because infantry. You got to know your infantry stuff. Well, when a tank tows another tank, they use two cables, and they're not winch cables. I mean, you're talking cable.
Yeah, cable, right? Not quite that big, but
they put them in a cross.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Well, the commander of the tank being pulled is sitting out, out of the turret there.
Yeah.
Or outside of the hatch. One of those cables broke and caught him. Just a bit of the cable caught him right in the face and destroyed his face. Destroyed him.
Destroyed
his face. He survived. A lot of surgeries, a lot of stuff. After about a year, he came back to the unit. But, yeah, it destroyed his face.
What the hell is wrong with you? That's what you're basically saying. No, actually, Sherry Champagne threw down $5 super chat. Carl Emery, the best stories you can tell are the ones where people respond back with, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
So every story.
Yeah, pretty well. That's all of my stories. So pretty well all of my stories. Yeah, good stuff.
Tom B, I got a question up here. He's saying, "Manishma, wala la kefak." He's asking if I'm running any classes in Georgia. Look, we can run classes anywhere. If we get a location and we can fill classes, we'll teach anywhere.
Like
I'll go to
Ukraine.
Kazakhstan and teach. I
can't believe you're bringing Sularu to Ukraine. That's just wrong. All right. Who makes the best suppressor sights? This is Todd Lamon, one of my patrons.
I remember him.
Brad Pitt's back surgeon. He doesn't realize I'm doing my live stream right now. Todd. I get this all the time. Like, people will actually text me to let me know they're not going to make the live stream.
Yeah, but see, the live stream changes every week,
no,
right? Time and day.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We've never done it at 7 p.m.
Ever on a Tuesday.
I'm in my...
Let's see. How do I...
Tactical. You don't, dude. You don't touch my shit.
I'm trying to go...
Tactical.
This thing's running too fast.
Tuesday live stream right now. Knuckle nuts. Knuckle. It keeps trying to fix it. Spell check. It doesn't like me to write knuckle nuts. Knuckle nuts.
Because it starts with a K.
Yeah. It does, don't it?
Knuckle.
Okay. Knuckles. But I will answer it for him. Trigicon HD best sites.
By the way, whoever's asking about the dogs barking, we got 4 dogs here right now.
Yeah.
One of them's mine. So, apologies. Biscuit gets a little rowdy.
Biscuit is his pit bull. And then I've got little Luggy Dog, who's like a black lab mutt. And then I've got my 2 big labs, Elvis and Milo. And then we just had a random bulldog.
I think he's like an American Bulldog.
American Bulldog just wanders up onto the hill and just decides he's hungry.
He's a cute looking guy.
He's a cute dog. He's a little skittish. Whoever his previous owner was apparently beat him a lot. But me being the dog whisperer, are you out of fuel?
So, no, I'm not out of fuel. What I'm checking here is it's not going up through here. So the first time I've owned this thing, let's see, 18 years I've had this.
Okay.
I got to clean out the little thing where the gas goes up in there.
So you are live on the World Wide Web, getting ready to share your mad coffee brewing skills.
Again.
And you screw the pooch.
And I screw the pooch.
It's kind of like Randy making a fire in front of clients and the fire doesn't start. That actually happened. It did happen one time. I saw it happen.
You know, we have a saying for that.
You know.
Even an elk makes noise in the forest. Even an elk makes noise in the forest. Sometimes.
That is some good coffee right there, guys.
Now I'm jealous.
I almost burnt my tongue on that one. I'd offer you some, Emery, but I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
I don't want to. I want my coffee. My coffee. All right, so here's the deal, guys. You see people putting down super chats. You do not have to put down a super chat at all. We have moderators out there. For example, we have the Google moderator, who is living in his mom's basement, and every once in a while he goes upstairs to go eat Hot Pockets in the microwave. I got that. But we also have our Tactical Rifleman moderators. We have got Donut here tonight, a couple others, but we have Mama Bear. And anyways, they will pluck your questions nice and neatly, and they will send them to you. Send them to me. All right. Let's see. Got another one. All right, matter of fact, Susan just sent me one here. Let me pull this puppy up. From Tom B. Emery Manishma, are you doing any...
That's the one I answered.
Yeah, okay, so you already got that. I'm sorry, Susan. Emery beat me to it. No worries. Todd is texting right now. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. All right, we'll get back to Susan here in a minute. The cool part is this class I got coming up in Texas. I didn't realize how many patrons we're going to have there.
How many are there?
No, dude, we have literally got... I've got some big patrons. I've got some little patrons. I love all my patrons. So we've literally have got... I'm not joking. I would say a third, probably more, closer to a half of the clients coming are patrons.
No kidding.
And so every night,
awesome.
Every night I am encouraging them to go out and do dinner together, and let me sleep. Let me sleep, please.
It's going to be a long week.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week. Susan and Glenn, they sign up for classes, and of course they get cut down. They can't go because of COVID, and then I bump them to the next class, and then I bump them to the next class. So they couldn't come in March because they both had COVID. Who saw that coming? But maybe they'll make it this class. It'd be awesome. Tom B threw down 50 bones at Emery. Todoraba Kever, you guys are great. Kawai Shukran, alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Yeah, Annalise.
Thank you, Tom. You're awesome. Annalise, there she is.
And her hubby. They are here, threw down 10 bones. Hope you guys have fun in Texas. Looking forward to coming there in the fall. What she's talking about is we're doing this year's Patreon course in Texas, third week of November. Emery's already said he's coming. We've already got Randy Worst is coming. Shularu's coming.
I think Chad's coming.
Wow. Chad Mormon. Chad Mormon will be there. Z can't make it. Something about all my exes live in Texas or something. He's not allowed to go there. Good stuff. Yeah, indeed. All right. And then she goes on, Emery, what type of retention device do you recommend for my holster in place of the button release I have?
Well, that's an easy one. We talked about it, so I recommend...
What kind of holster does she have? Don't say
I don't remember
Serpa.
what she. I don't remember what she has now. I remember what I told you, which is Safari Land ALS.
Yeah.
That's really what I recommend. If you want more security, you go with the Safari Land with a bail.
That has the ALS button underneath it.
Yep. That's what I recommend. Safari Land, so just so you know, the older style, I think Z's got one, I have one for my SIG, where the button, you push it down and forward to push the bail forward, but they have the newer one that has the ALS system where you pull back on the button, right? Like you're saying, under the bail.
Yeah. So the bail rolls forward, and then as you grasp in the piston, it automatically undoes the button. I actually have I have a Safari Land holsters. I've got like 12 of them right there.
Yeah, Safari Land. Look, the only downside to Safari Land is they're expensive, but
they're hard to find sometimes, guys. Just understand, they have to put the molds into all the machines. So when they get a big order for 1,000 holsters for a military unit, and that sounds like a big order, but understand it's not. All right, when the military buys 1 million new pistols. Right? So you understand some of these holster orders are big. So sometimes it's a while before they go back and make one that matches your light with your optic. So if it's already in the inventory, a lot of times you can find holsters online, but not necessarily Amazon or the website Safariland. You can go to sometimes eBay, sometimes smaller gun shops that have just happen to have your holster that you need, but it's been sitting on the shelf there for 3 years. It still works. All right. For my 19 black suppressor sights, no reflective coating. Todd,
thing.
Brother, I'm in the middle of a live stream right now. All right, I threw down another one. This is from Susan Britcha. Without further ado, super cheap. 00 Emery. He said instead of super chat, he's doing a super cheap.
I get it.
Okay, Emery, what's your favorite IMI made firearm? He's gonna say
favorite IMI made firearm. You
can say none. You can say
no. I do. There's some good ones. I'm assuming you're talking about like a small caliber, so I'm going to go with a micro Uzi because I carried one.
Somehow I knew he was going to say micro Uzi.
Micro Uzi, I carried one. I will split an apple at 70 meters with it because you got that collapsible stock. It turns, it's awesome. Honestly, the Tavor is not bad. I like the Tavor. I like the micro Tavor.
Joe, you just text me in the middle of my own fucking live stream to tell me about your personal experience with steel cables. Really? I appreciate you interrupting me. God bless. The guy won't quit. Guys, Joe called me 4 times and texted me 5 times today. I love Joe. I do love Joe. But Joe, I need to block you on my phone. I should give you a 1 hour block a week that you're allowed to talk to me. What are you doing?
I don't know what I did. I clicked on this because it's running out.
Yeah, no, don't. We talked about this. Emery's he's so not allowed to touch stuff, dude.
That's the mouse I was allowed to play with.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have said that. I really should not have let you. I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to snap at you. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I did. Who is
Heather
that?
Fly Fishes
That's Heather.
Done.
That's for Lanny. We did
Sherry
that
Champagne,
one.
of course, we've done. Since when does Erica go by Sherry Champagne again? I thought that was gone a long time ago.
Yeah. We already did both.
Did that.
Dude. We already did that one. Who's that one?
I don't know. Message retracted.
Message retracted. He threw down 10 bones and then retracted it. Okay.
Maybe it was Joe.
All right. Now.
But I want to play with the
touching the mouse. All right, I did say you could touch that one, but I'd rather you don't. Here, I'll let you touch it. Go ahead, dude. Touch my mouse. Just not this mouse. All right. Sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to snap at you. I keep when my phone dings, it's important. And between you and Todd Landman, I've been not getting any messages from Susan. All right, so I'm done checking your stuff. Grim LFD. Emery, do you have any experience with the Agalite G19 plate carrier
G19, yep.
and the AMAP pack? Looking for a new rig and came across them and reviews were good.
So, first of all, if you go to my Instagram, actually, you go onto Tactical Rifleman's Instagram.
You can look at it right there.
Yeah, I jumped out of airplanes with it like, what was it, 3-4 weeks ago? Agilite sent me one to play with a pack.
What's the pack?
So what happens? Shit, I knew I should have brought my plate carrier. So, so the plate carrier you've seen, right? It's awesome. I love it. I totally love it. I've asked them to make a couple of changes for me, and hopefully when they do that, and really I just asked for that so I can keep jumping out of airplanes with it. It's comfortable. It's really well made. It's pretty. Yeah. So awesome reviews.
The pack. What's the pack?
The pack, what happens is you have a Velcro patch on the back, okay, of the plate carrier, and then you have literally a small, it's like a 25 liter pack. That what happens is you Velcro it on the back, and there's 4 clips, and it's super easy on and off, and then you can take it off in literally under 30 seconds. You take the pack off, and you can put shoulder straps on it, and you got a bag. So the whole idea,
back panel.
Yeah. So the idea is, let's say I put my plate carrier down, but I have a couple of frag grenades and my radio on my plate carrier, or some maps or some secret crap. I chuck it in the bag, take it with me. Right. Yeah. I think it's an awesome system. I've only had it since February, so I've not abused it for a full amount of time yet. So far, it's been tremendous. Highly recommended so far.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. All right, gents. Literally, you can. You guys know the deal. If you got questions for Emery, you can plug them into the chat, and my moderators will pull them up, which I think is awesome. I lost my mouse again because
Let's see.
All right.
Phone's
my
blowing
phone
up, Carl.
Dinged, and it wasn't Susan.
It wasn't Susan.
So it's somebody else that's bugging me. Oh, it's Joe Trorig again.
Go figure.
Roger that, Sergeant Major. Just had a Jägermeister Salam. Thank you, Joe.
Cheers.
Cheers. You still haven't gone to go get me my Patron Cafe.
And here's why.
Because you don't have any coffee to put it in.
No, I don't care about the coffee because I'm going to drink that shit. And I was going to drive, but now I'm not.
Oh, no, that's right. You were driving home tonight. Shit. Guys, Emery's got a 3-hour drive. Well, on a brighter note, you've got a 3-minute drive now. You can go to the shed and sleep on the couch again. There's always that, right? There's always that. No big deal. No big deal. While we're waiting for Emery to come back, I wanted to give a shout out, and I encourage you guys to sign up for classes. I do. So where do you do that? You go to our website, tacticalrifleman.com, and there, and you can see bios on all the instructors and stuff. But the other thing that you can see there is our training schedule, but also classes and write-ups about the classes and everything, round counts and what gear you need, all this, that, and the other. But I clicked on our calendar, like, of where slots have actually started to fill up. And I'm sitting there and I was like, I don't have but 2 people signed up for this one medical class, and the next 3 days of shooting are full. What happened? So I went and checked the calendar, and it wasn't on the calendar. All right, now that's not blaming you guys. It's obviously my team. My computer people didn't do it correctly. My fault. It's my fault for not checking. So, my fault for not checking. Long story short, we have got all the medical classes back listed again. They're put on by, you guys know Travis Hall from Second Chance K9. He also, his job is a medical instructor. Remember, the dog thing is a nonprofit. As a medical instructor, sweet, you're going to open a brand new bottle. Could you have gotten a bigger one, Emery?
I saw a smaller one, but it does say on the top of it, no touch till Patreon.
Oh my God, look at the size of this thing. Okay. All right. That's a monster, dude. There's no...
He's a monster.
Anyways,
Down the hatch.
like I was saying, I wish you had a knife. You could open that up.
Oh man.
So Travis Hall, he's the lead instructor. I'm the assistant instructor. You're welcome to bring your own medical gear, but you don't have to. We'll have the IFAKs, tourniquets, all kinds of medical gear, and we'll have stuff there for sale if you want EDC kits or IFAKs or tourniquets or even vehicle kits for sale. So it's great training. First one is 11 May. And I only have a handful of slots filled. We're still going to do the class. Smaller classes are actually better for me. They're more personal. I like smaller classes. But we've got tons of slots for the 11 May class. Then 13 July and 13 August, we have the exact same medical class again. And we actually have one of our moderators, chem student, and his wife Honey Bunny are both actually coming to take that medical class.
Good.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I've met them a few times.
Yeah. So they're not full. Those classes are not full either. Dude, don't put those dick skinners on there. What?
Should I put it back?
Man.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Don't bother. It's gonna happen again.
Yeah. You see what I got to deal with? God almighty, dude.
Holy shit.
The problem with having
So
such
you're
a
leaving
big
the rest
cup,
for me?
Oh my God. Anyways. Oh yeah. Now we're rocking. Now we're cooking right there. Good stuff indeed. So anyways, just want to let you guys know, and a lot of people that say like, well, medical classes, tactical rifleman, we want to come do shooting classes with you. I got that, guys, but understand, for every one time you use your EDC pistol, you're going to use medical training 10 times. So you having a concealed carry firearm Christmas shopping when that 80-year-old guy has a heart attack and lands his Cessna airplane in the middle of the food court, you understand your pistol's not helping you at all. It's not. It's a mass casualty situation. What is going to help you is knowledge, medical training. Medical training is what's going to help you. Legitimately.
We got a good question here, Carl.
All right, what's the question?
On scopes. What is the, this is from, What Me Worry? What is the max range for a 1 to 8 or 1 to 10 scope? And can you make precise shots with that given what we learned at Op Valkyrie?
Max range for 1 to 8, 1 to 10. Understand, guys, the military used to shoot the 1,000, what was 1,000 yard back then. They would shoot the 1,000 yard competitions with iron sights. All magnification does for you is allow you to see the target better. It does not make your shot groups more accurate. I want that to sink in. All right? And there are actually people that will say it magnifies mistakes that you make. Okay, I understand that, right? But now, for me, the big thing magnification does for you is it allows you to identify friend or foe. Is it a threat? Is it not a threat? Is it a threat that warrants deadly force? That's important, right? Now, this is that new 1 to 8 with the Raptor Reticle by Primary Arms. This thing's totally badass. This is the old one that I love. Look how much smaller this puppy is. Oh my God, this thing it's gorgeous. Much lighter. With it on 1X, okay, and yes, it has the illuminated donut of death in there just like an EOTech has. Understand, it works similarly to a EOTech or a red dot aim point, but it's not. It's not. It still has magnification in it, but you can do CQB with it. You can, just not going to be as good as the EOTech. The advantage, though, is outdoors, you can dial this puppy all the way up to 8X, and the cool part is this one with this reticle is it's got a bullet drop compensator in it for easily going out to 600 meters. No problem, no sweaty 600 meters all day long. If you've got the one with the Griffin mill reticle, your data, depending on the accuracy of your weapon and the accuracy of your ammo, you can go up to 1,000 meters with it. But The problem with low power variable scopes is see how small that objective lens is, right? Normally your big sniper scopes have got that big bell. I don't have one on the table here. Has a big bell objective lens, all right? Like the one on the Barrett 50 cal right here. You guys can see how big this bell is on this scope, all right? Where this has got a small objective lens. It's not allowing you to see more of the battlefield. It's not, but it's transmitting more light. A lot of people say that scope gathers more light. It doesn't gather more light. It has more glass, and yes, it does get down to the types of coating on lenses and things like that. You get what you paid for. So if you get a good Leupold scope or Smith & Bender, you're going to transmit more light than if you went with Tasco. All right, just understand that's the reality of glass. But they can't change the laws of physics. So a smaller objective lens like this, not going to transmit as much light with it. So my old SR25, it had a 3.5 to 10 power Leupold on it. And it was a great scope. It was a great scope. I didn't need to go any further above that.
Better?
Better, thank you. I really, it's not that I don't know where Emery's lips have been. It's that I know where Emery's lips have been, and I don't want his lips touching anything that I'm gonna. No. I don't even know if I should drink this now. Ugh.
I'll fucking drink it. All right.
That is some good coffee right there. That is some good coffee. All right. So, anyways, excellent question. But as far as how far out can you get? To shoot at that distance, you need to be accurate. Right now, accuracy, and a lot of people don't understand this, so we'll cover it again. And I've got a video on it you can find in our video archive. Accuracy is basically you need a precision rifle. In other words, a rifle that's accurate, right? That shoots consistently, right? It puts an appropriate spin to spin stabilize the projectile and is going to deliver the exact same muzzle velocity all the time. An accurate barrel. That's the gun, the barrel. All the rest, the stock, everything else doesn't really matter. The trigger doesn't really matter. You need an accurate barrel. A precision barrel. Now attached to that, the next piece of the equation is precise ammo. Because if you don't have a bullet with a good ballistic coefficient, one that will stay stable, you're not going to get tight shot groups at distance. If you're shooting 4 minute of angle ammo, it's a 4-inch shot group at 100 meters. A lot of you would consider that good enough. Understand at 400 meters, that's now a 16-inch shot group. All right. That's not good enough. It's not. You need more. You need more accurate ammo. So you need an accurate projectile, but then you also need a consistent powder charge behind it, because if one bullet flies at 2,600 feet per second and the next one runs at 2,650, it's going to fly flat or it's going to hit high. The next one goes out at 2,420, it's going to go low, and now you've got a shot group that's 3 feet tall at 800 meters. You're not going to hit that guy. You're not going to hit it. So you need accurate ammo through an accurate barrel. You need precise ammo through a precision barrel. But the last part of the equation is it's not the optic.
Consistent
it's not.
Monkey.
It's hooking the monkey onto the back of the gun. Because if you don't have a trained monkey that can pull that 1 pound trigger or pull that 12 pound trigger, because the trigger doesn't matter, all right? If he can't pull it smooth, and if he can't line the sights up consistently, right? Consistency is the key to accuracy. Consistent chamber pressure, consistent muzzle velocity, consistent sight picture, consistent trigger squeeze. If he can't line the sights up, whether it's iron sights or whether it's looking through a scope that's not parallax free, you're not gonna. And then he's got to estimate range, he's got to estimate winds, and then everything else that goes into the equation. If you zero your gun when it's 60 degrees outside, and then you go shoot somewhere else, or you don't touch your gun for a couple months, and now it's 80 degrees outside, that's a 20-degree temperature change. At 800 meters, that's going to, just the temperature change is going to move it 8 inches. Your shot group is going to hit higher. Now, if you're higher above sea level, for every change higher or lower from where you zeroed of 1,000 feet, is same thing. It's going to change it 1 minute of angle. So if you zero here at right around 1,000 feet, and then you go hunting up in the mountains at 8,000 feet, that is a 7,000 foot change. I want that to sink in because that's 7 minutes of angle, right? At 200 meters, that's 14 inches, guys. All right, that literally you start shooting. You see how there's a lot more to this. So, and the only reason why I'm saying that is don't get hung up on, well, should I go with an 8 power scope or should I go with a 10 power scope? I watched my old instructor, Mr. White, snatch a M21 out of one of the students' hands, iron sights, and he bridged it against the wall standing, shot, observed where his bullet hit the berm, bent down, shot again, observed where the bullet hit the berm, and knocked down that 1,000-yard plastic target with his third bullet standing, supported iron sights. All right.
By the way, let's address one more thing.
You got to have the monkey.
The parallax, right? So
I mentioned parallax.
You mentioned it, but it's worth getting into a little bit more because the parallax-free shit, like for example, today, right? We were shooting pistols
at 100 meters. We're shooting pistol at 100.
Yep, we were shooting an 8-inch disc at 100 meters on a piece of paper, so we could really see where exactly the shots were.
Yeah.
And if you're looking through that in this case,
right here. We're looking through a red dot, guys, and he's rocking the Vulcan reticle. He's not rocking a green one. All right, I'm trying to do it with the camera, but it's all backwards for me. He don't like the green one. I love the green one, guys. I love it.
But here's the thing: if you view that dot, and you can still see that dot, or in this case, the chevron, you can still see the dot if you move your head a little bit, right? But even these are not parallax free.
They're not parallax free. They're not. Now, what I do, and again, we did a video a few months ago, me shooting the 100-meter plate pistol standing. What I'm doing is I take my chevron, or your dot works the same way, and basically this is the front sight of the pistol. I put my chevron or my dot right on top of it, and what it does is it allows me to put that dot or chevron in the same part of the glass, the same place every time. You don't have that problem so much with a rifle because a rifle has 4 points of contact. You have strong hand on fire controls, pistol grip. You have your support hand on the front of the gun. You have it pocket of your shoulder, but then you also have that cheek weld. And that cheek weld on a rifle is centering your eye as much as possible behind that scope every time. So with iron sights, it's easy on a rifle to put that rear aperture on that M16 and your front sight post and make sure it's in the center. But understand if it is a little left, right, high, or low, you don't have good sight alignment. Everybody thinks with a red dot, well, it doesn't matter with a red dot. It doesn't matter in close. I got that. But at distance, they still have parallax. So to help me line up my eye perfectly behind my pistol, I use that front sight of my pistol and I put my little chevron right at the top of it. I lollipop it, and then I put my aiming point right on the target, and I get my hits, which pisses people off. I went out to 140 the other day, strong hand only. Ask Randy. Randy was pissed, dude.
I'm pissed right now.
All right, but even with a rifle, these your good scopes. Where's my?
Hold on. Let's give people a bit of a trick here.
Real quick. A lot of your good sniper scopes have 3 knobs: windage, elevation, and then on the left side of the gun they have what's called a parallax knob. Some people call it focus. It's not. It's a parallax knob. What you're doing is you're focusing the reticle on the same focal plane as the target. So if your eye is off left or right, the scope is still fairly parallax free. Your low power variable optics don't, that knob on that left side of the gun is not a parallax knob. That is for your illuminated reticle. And so these scopes have bad parallax. No big deal. You just need to make sure you have a reference point on your stock where you can put that head the same place every time. And a technique you can use is actually turkey neck your head way forward, and you'll see the shadow around the inside of the scope. Center that shadow so that your eye is directly behind it, and then slowly bring your eye back. So right as the shadow disappears, you've made sure that your eye is centered with that shadow. It is a technique. There's lots of techniques, guys. We can do this for hours.
So what I learned actually from you as well, right alongside that, and that's exactly where I was going to go.
Okay.
Is when you're behind that scope, right? If you move your head back or forward, right, it's going to make your image change, right? There is an optimal eye relief distance, right? Yep. And so if you're a little outside of it or inside of it, and you get that kind of shadow on the outside, the ghost ring or whatever you want to call it, right? I'll move my eye up and down and find exactly where center is, and then left and right, find exactly where center is. And that's another technique to do,
yep.
right?
All right. So, Susan has sent us a bunch of questions. Cash Me Outside. The question is, how to know what antibiotic to use for what and how much? Here's the deal, guys. Number one, you can screw up stuff with antibiotics. All right. Now, hear me out. If you're going for preparedness and you're thinking collapse of society where there is no next echelon of care, understand, first I want you to be able to take care of all medical emergencies and then be able to get them to that next echelon of care, your local hospital. But if you have reached the point in preparedness already where you, or let's say you're going on a safari in Africa, or you're going on that big camping trip or hunting trip up in British Columbia, wherever it is, if you're not going to have access to a doctor, okay. There are certain books out there, and they're on my book list, guys. If you go to our Amazon store, it'll say Carl's book list, and literally some of the books there are Where There Is No Doctor, which is all guerrilla medicine, and then there's the matching book to that is Where There Is No Dentist. But another book that's on my book list is called the Merck Manual, and Merck Manual basically, and there's the Vet Merck. But you get the medical Merck Manual, and it does not have pictures. It is dry, but it is for people like me. Now, my library of medical books is deep, but I was a Special Forces medic. I've delivered 5 babies. I've done, I don't know how many hundreds of gunshot wounds. I've been taught surgery. I've been taught lab. I've been taught literally a little bit of everything. So what we call a PDR, Physician's Desk Reference for drug indications, contraindications, side effects, things like that. All right, that is a good book to have. But understand, you have to do proper diagnosis first. And I want to caution people about getting too deep into ordering drugs and stuff like that. Go with broad spectrum antibiotics, amoxicillin, go with Z-Paks, azithromycin, go with stuff like that, Cipro, broad spectrum antibiotics, and then literally find out what the correct dosages are for them. But your best bet will be to, even if you have the drugs yourself, also have, because remember, you're never going to survive by yourself. So you need to have a network of people. And that should be family, but it should also be neighbors. But understand, outside of that near, what we call your auxiliary, you've got people that are out there too. And I don't care if you can only reach them by radio or by cell phone or by email or whatever. You should have a doctor on your list that is like-minded like you. We've got one we call Doc. My patrons just saw him on a video that we did our quick shooting tip. literally, he is so against vaccines. Oh my God. But my point though is you need to have somebody that you can reach out to that is qualified, that can say, all right, doc, here are the signs and symptoms. This is what's been going on with my loved one. This is what I think they have. This is my differential diagnosis. This is what drugs I have. This is what I want to treat them with. Am I doing the right thing? And he's going to say, all right, what was the temperature again? What was this? And he's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and you're going to go, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. And he's going to either confirm what you're wanting to do and tell you, yeah, go ahead, start them on 1,000 milligrams, broad spectrum, IV every 6 hours, and give me a call back tomorrow. Or he's going to tell you to stop and desist and go a different route. So anyways, I caution people about being too cavalier about drugs. Another thing, when you think medical, people will go to these survival summits and classes and stuff, and they'll take classes on suturing. And I'm not telling you don't learn how to tie a surgeon's knot. I got that. But before you close a injury 99% of the time, because the biggest threat is infection, you closing it, you're keeping all the bad stuff inside. More important is you learn how to properly clean and debride and lavage a wound, and then do what's called a delayed primary closure, which is basically stop the bleeding, let it heal from the inside out. And yeah, they'll have a god-awful scar. Who cares? Chicks dig scars. But you'll save their life because you trying to treat an infection, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? With no extra echelons of care to go to. Right. More questions coming in. Susan, thank you for keeping them coming. Next one is from the Donut Eater. What brand of stove is Emery using? I'm asking for a friend. That's from Donut. For a friend.
This is
MSR, ain't it?
MSR Whisper Light International. I have had this since I was in the Army. I've had this thing 18 years.
18 years.
I've had it through a lot of my military service. I've changed pump on it once.
It folds up too.
Oh, yeah. This is the best stove I've ever had.
Guys,
if you guys know of a better one, I'd love to know.
No. I got one of those during the initial invasion of Afghanistan, but they also got us a smaller one. Right, because we're trying to save weight. Literally, I switched from an Army E-tool to a Glock E-tool, so it would save me 13 ounces. All right, that's how important cutting weight is. So I would have thought the smaller stove would have been better. Nada, you can run kerosene, you can run diesel through that. It doesn't run good on diesel, but it's a great stove.
And you have to clean it more often and that kind of stuff. But this thing, so look, here's the deal.
Great stove.
Those, what do they call those little, those little things, I'll think about it in a minute. Any stove with a canister, I don't want. Right? They're great. They're good. Yeah. But half the places you go, you can't get the stupid canisters, right? And then you're left over with trash.
Yeah, he's talking about my bottles of gas that I run all my stuff off of, like my my Jetboil stove.
Hey, Jetboil, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. So Jetboils are awesome, right? MSR makes one too called the Lightning, and they're really, really cool, and they do a phenomenal job.
But you can't refill the bottle.
You have to have that bottle. Here, I have a big bottle here.
He can fill that with just about anything and then compress it with the pump up top.
This lasts me, this bottle right here, which is probably a half a liter, 750. Oh, it's close to a liter. It's 975, right? So it's close to a liter. This will last me 2 weeks, maybe a little more of hunting, where I'm using this, 3, 4, 5 times a day.
All right, we got another question here. Cash Me Outside's back. How practical is a 26-inch barrel other than for maximizing performance velocity on a precision rifle, 30-06 chambering, if that matters?
How far are you shooting?
You said it right there. You said other than maximizing performance velocity. That's the only reason to go with that long of a barrel. It's not going to be as easy to get in and out of a car. It's going to suck parachuting with it. It's going to suck walking through the woods with it because it's longer. If you want to run a longer barrel, go with a folding stock. All right. But honest, if you can get away without even having a folding stock, the less moving parts, the more consistent your gear is. But there's nothing wrong with a 26-inch barrel, but understand every inch you're adding to maximize that muzzle velocity is only going to be able to speed up so much. Okay. But you're adding more weight. And if all you're doing is doing bench rest shooting, go with a long barrel, go with a long one. But like you said, you got to balance that. Besides maximizing muzzle velocity, it does absolutely nothing for you. Right here, DW, ever use whiskey to disinfect a wound? I've used vodka and rubbing alcohol, obviously.
Gunpowder, and then you burn it?
No.
Like Rambo, man.
Yeah, that's Rambo. Heat up the barrel, heat up the blade of your knife.
Yeah.
Hydrogen peroxide and alcohol, guys. Medical grade alcohol. And don't drink this stuff. Don't drink it. Those are things that you should, no joke, have. Also, a few jugs of distilled water. Right? Understand you can make sterile water by boiling it. I got that. But
it doesn't take particles out.
Yeah, it doesn't take all the crap out of it. You can make normal saline. If you've got the room to store the stuff and you've got plenty of room for medical gear, having IVs, lactated ringers, normal saline, stuff like that, great to have. Cool. More important, though, instead of worrying about IV therapy, worry about being able to properly irrigate wounds. And for that, you can use boiled water, cool it down first before you pour it into the wounds. But it's got to be sterile, and sterile saline will be better than just sterile water for cleaning wounds, right? pH correct, all that stuff. And if you don't know how to make what they call normal saline, that's with a certain percentage of salt in it. Guys, go online. This is all information that you guys should have. All right, let me see if I can get that one open. And my phone locked up again. Susan, I'm sorry I'm falling behind. I don't mean to. Cadre Ops question. Carl, do all optics have some parallax to a degree? Is there a true parallax free? No, there's not. When they first came out with red dots, they marketed them as being parallax free. Okay, even EOTech has a little bit of parallax to it. If you don't believe me, put out a bunch of bullseyes at 300 meters, put your eye all the way to one side, shoot a group on one bullseye, move your eye all the way to the other, and shoot it on a different bullseye. And you're going to have groups in different spots. And the holographic weapon sight, the EOTech, is the best one that's out there, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Your bigger, more expensive sniper scopes, I call them sniper scopes. Civilians call them precision rifle scopes.
Yes.
Even though they're for shooting mammals.
Humans.
Mammals, two-legged mammals.
My
this
bad.
is YouTube, dude. For my Google moderator out there, you're right. We're going to talk about killing people, so go get some more Hot Pockets. We'll see you when you get back. All right?
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Without further ado, have you ever dropped or lost anything while parachuting? If so, what would it was? Never on a halo jump. I have hit the planet so hard that it's knocked the living snot out of me. Well, I was talking to Emery earlier because he just got his A license for skydiving. I was doing a night, well, it's actually right at sundown, so it counted as a night jump. But I had a huge mountain rucksack behind my legs, below my parachute, and I had my SR-25 on my side, my 2 oxygen bottles over here. And SR-25 has a fixed stock that's flat like an M16. And that's like the wing of an airplane. And I don't know what it was because it was dark. But all I know is I exited the plane and I started spinning. So I immediately started countering the spin and couldn't do it. So by the end of it, I basically had to have one leg straight out, one arm out, and this arm back like this for me to keep from spinning. Now my altimeter is right here. I'm supposed to pull at 4,000 feet. But every time I went to bring my hand in to look at it, I'd immediately start spinning again. So I'm like doing this shit. And anyway, I landed safe. I pulled on heading. I was good to go. Never flipped or nothing. Different jump. I've had guys hit so hard. I was talking about Chad Kloppenstein actually put the barrel of his saw through his calf. Had another guy hit on same jump so hard he knocked his boot off of his foot. That was a laced up desert boot. How hard? You ever try pulling one of them off without unlacing it? Go do it. You'll laugh your ass off.
Not easy.
Not easy. All right. But on a static line jump, before I went to Halo school, I was in Jump Master school, Fort Campbell, and I was being graded and as primary jump master. So I put all my guys out of the plane. I look over. We're doing a door exit. I don't like door exits, by the way. I like ramp exits.
Ramp. Yeah.
I put all my guys out. I'm primary jump master. I look over at the assistant jump master. He puts all his guys out his door. He exits, and then I go out last. But I'm looking, and as I go to leave, I'm too close to the edge of the door, and I hooked my Kevlar helmet. And under canopy, my parachute opened. Great. I landed nice and soft. I landed without a helmet. Those are $250, by the way. Back then, you know what they are now?
I think they're a lot more.
A lot more now.
By the way, last year we have this on video.
They're $250 in a pawn shop outside Fort
Last year,
Campbell.
I will look for the slow-mo.
I lost a helmet in static line jump master school. The cool part though was the instructors didn't know it fell off my head because they were still in the airplane, and I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them I lost my helmet. I didn't tell them. We went out there afterwards to look for it on a drop zone. Like, you're gonna find it.
Right.
My buddy OJ started screaming, so I thought he found my helmet. I turn around, he's in shorts. I watch him jump up, and this copperhead is hooked onto his thigh.
Oh, shit.
He's squealing like a chick, running. So we got the snake off, and then I had to take him to the emergency room. He got bit by a copperhead. OJ, if you're watching, come on, boy, that was funny. That was funny.
You know, last year I lost something on a static jump.
What'd you lose?
I remember, we have this on video. I'll dig it up and put it up somewhere in slow-mo. But the riser, as it came out, popped my light off my helmet. And you can just see it go. Remember that Petzl light?
No, I just remember the one, I think once say like your second exit.
My balls?
He said, or my balls. My balls. He says it in that cool Palestinian accent. My balls. Oh, my balls. He had that one leg strap that apparently was over some plumbing. It wasn't supposed to be over. And the whole ride down on his GoPro, all you could hear was, oh, my balls. My balls. Oh, my balls.
That was so painful. That was like the most painful minute of my life.
I don't post stuff very often. I had to post that. That was that was a beautiful thing, dude.
I can't remember if it was that jump or not that I lost the Petzl, but that sucked.
Why was it that funny? Because it's happened to everybody that's jumped. It's even happened to Robin. You know, ask Robin. Robin will tell you she had her junk hooked under a leg strap. I'm sure. I don't know for sure, Robin. You maybe not, but I almost guarantee. I just admit it, Robin. You got your junk stuck under a leg strap at least once. All right. Without further ado, I already got that one. Hold on. I got another one here. American Patriot threw down 2 bones. What does Emery think of Tops knives? I have many.
Okay. Tops, I've had a couple. Tops knives are pretty good. I like their designs. What I really don't like about Tops knives is that they always powder coat their stupid knives.
Powder coat?
They powder coat them. And so it's got that rough finish. Looks cool, feels cool. What it does is it makes that knife not have as deep of a cut. Necessarily. You're adding friction to the blade. The blade should slip through meat. Right? So overall, I do like Tops knives. I wish they didn't powder coat them.
Couldn't you take the powder coat off?
Yeah, if you want to start, fucking grinding on your knife.
You guys have seen my gun belt. I have, and I get asked all the time, Carl, hey, what knife is that on your gun belt? And I'm like, it's a Tops knife. It's a Tops knife. It's called a Scout. I don't even think they make it anymore. Here's the story behind that knife. And I have got how many knives do I have behind glass in the man room?
There's a few knives there.
There's a ton of knives. So what does Emery do? He gives me 3 more. Literally,
You can give them back. It's okay.
No. All right. So, second battle of Fallujah, 2004. My A-team gets assigned, my 1A team gets assigned the whole city of Fallujah. So I go there, we're staying on Camp Fallujah, the Marines. Well, I get a care package from Dmitry Rockland. He's the guy that started Armasight. At the time, he was president of ATN. Super great guy. Ukrainian, actually. Great guy. He sent me 2 cases of Starbucks double shots. He sent me 18 Tops knives and big, small, tons of Tops knives. And then he sent me 2 water bottles. I'm like, dude, I'm looking at like a pallet yard filled with bottled water. I'm like, why would this guy send me 2 water bottles? Cracked one of them open. It was all vodka.
Nice.
It was all vodka.
That's a good friend.
Right, good friend, right? But, so what I did was I went in. He's like, pick the knives you want. Give the rest of the knives to your guys. So what I did was I immediately went in and laid all the knives out on the table. I said, you guys, you get one. Take 1 knife. And I had support kids with me and stuff. So everybody got one. They left me with 2 knives. One was this big, god-awful, ugly one. I have no idea where it is. But the other one was this small little Scout. It was too small. Nobody liked it. It was perfect. It was perfect for me to put on my gun belt, to have a fixed blade that you'll never use. And since then, my gun belt has, because all the latest hotness is for you to have a Velcro inner and outer belt. We were running duty belts decades ago, and then we went to the padded belts, and then that you guys see me wearing a lot. Then we went back to duty belts, Velcroed, and then we went to padded belts with Kevlar inserts to help protect you from shrapnel. And I don't have mine because I actually gave it to my replacement, the sergeant major that replaced me. I actually gave it to him because we were still doing combat ops. I didn't need it. I was a fag. I was retiring, former action guy. And then since then, now that I'm retired, I have Velcro inner and outer belts. I have got my normal padded belt. But my belts have changed, and I change stuff all the time. The one thing I haven't changed is that little Scout Tops knife. And he's right, it's powder coated. I'll give it to him. That thing has been on that, and it's not a good knife. It's not. For fighting, I would not want to go in a knife fight with that knife, but it's always been there for me. It has sentimental value because it literally did combat ops in the Najaf, Fallujah, Mosul, Sadr City, you name it. That knife has been on 4 continents. And anyways, long story short, I like Tops knives. I do. For a price point, and like Emery said, they've got lots of great designs. That one big field knife they've got is
I don't know their models, but
yeah, I don't know the names of it. They got one that Angry American's knife is very similar to, but Angry American's knife is better, but it's also $500 more.
That's because it's handmade.
And it is handmade. So, and that's one thing you get with Tops knives is you're getting a great quality.
Look, knives are personal. They're personal.
Very personal.
It's how does it fit in your hand? How does it fit? How you like to use them? You know, if you're talking about fighting knives too, it's varied. Right?
Phil W., another one of my patrons.
What's up, Phil?
And Heather, guys, gals, you know I love you. I do. Phil is he's my uncle up in Alaska. They're up there probably freezing their asses off right now. I'm sure he's probably wearing a coonskin hat with a tail hanging off the side right now. He threw down 20 bones, minus shipping and handling. Hey, Carl, can I carry a suppressor in carry-on if traveling on an airliner?
No.
You know, I don't know that for sure, though, because it is just a gun part.
No, gun parts are not allowed. Even
all right,
if it's
so he's saying no gun parts. I know you can't fly with magazines. Nope. Now, if you were to say, hear me out, if you were to say that it is actually a suppressor for your remote controlled airplane. Serious as a heart attack, TSA will let you do it.
Who wants to
I
test
watched
it out?
the guy fly with an optic because he said it was for his camera. And TSA was like, oh, well, okay, these are not the droids you're looking for. Whatever. You got to understand, you take a job at TSA when that job as a manager at your local McDonald's career didn't work out for you. So that's when you go to TSA. Play it safe, Phil. Put it in your check bag. You're coming from Alaska. You need to have a check bag.
Well, your check bag. So a can is a whole different thing. It's a whole different can of worms because it's you have to like notify the ATF when you cross state lines. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of other shit.
Yeah, suppressors
that goes along with flying with suppressor.
Yeah, suppressors are. Yeah, suppressors are a pain in the neck. You hear what he just mentioned? I forgot to mention that. Phil, double check, because the ATF, that is a controlled item, and you need to let them know if you're moving it from point A to point B.
Yeah, it's not just a gun part.
It's total bullshit. I know. I ignore them all the time. You guys know I don't break the law. I don't. I just trample it from time to time.
Forget about it.
I actually tried doing their paperwork, because like if you're going to take a short barrel rifle from one state to another to go train, you're supposed to submit the paperwork.
Yep.
By the time I got it back, I'd already gone and done the class and came back.
Right.
So, and they approved it. Oh yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, thanks, dickheads.
Yeah, really, I just pissed away all, you weren't, no, how about no? How about...
What are they there for if they're not helping anybody?
Well,
asking for a friend.
Yeah. Next question. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, why don't we?
Ray, and all right, for all my ATF guys in the chat room, I love you guys. I do. I just, I'm calling you a punk to your face. All right, Ray S. Hey, Carl, hey, Emery.
Hey.
When selecting training ammo to match the people ammo, do you just match grain weight, or are there other things to consider prior to shooting it to get the trajectories as close? All right, now this is different different things for. I'm going to do pistols, then we'll do rifles. When you're doing pistols, number one, make sure that your duty ammo actually fires through your gun. And now, right, because that sounds like, well, of course it fires. It doesn't necessarily. I have had a bunch of specialty ammo that does not like to shoot in 1911s at all.
Especially 1911.
Especially 1911s.
Steve Brandt.
I had some specialty hollow points that would not run in my suppressed Beretta in Baghdad. And I had been carrying that because it was a special slide on that Beretta for taking the Knight's Armament suppressor. I've been carrying that pistol for probably 2 months, shooting nothing but ball ammo on the range. But when it came to, just happened to one day forget to swap out my duty ammo, my hollow points. And when I went to go shoot the hollow points, it immediately locked up. Learn from my mistake. So when I buy that box of 25 rounds of Barnes TAC XPD or G9 external hollow points, whatever it is, if you're going to buy one box of 25 to fill those 3 magazines, buy 2 boxes and immediately take 1 box and write it off. Go to the range and make sure it runs. Make sure it runs in your gun. Right? Now, the problem with matching pistol ammo, just going the same grain weight does not give you the same recoil, because a lot of your duty ammo is plus P or plus P plus. So make sure you're going with the same recoil, and you might have to play with that a little bit. Now, rifle wise, understand bullets fly different, right? So try to be close. Understand most of your training ammo with a rifle, for example, 5.56. I don't want guys using their good M855 A1 ammo or their M855 green tip ammo or their 77 grain Black Hills for doing up drills at 3 meters or 5 meters at one of our classes where they're going to shoot 500 rounds in 2 days. Save your ammo. Save your good ammo. Now, that said, so in other words, shoot cheap 55 grain, shoot shoot cheap 62 grain ball. That's the same weight as your M855. If you want to do that, cool. But understand the recoil difference is not very much. But when you go to the actual class, for example, our Carbine Zero Mastery class, those guys understand the entire day is spent mastering point blank zero trajectory all the way out to 300 meters. I want you to bring your good ammo for that. I do. So if you're planning on carrying Black Hill 77 grain boat tail hollow point ammo, good ammo, the Mark 262, if that's what you're planning on gunfighting with, that's what I want you to bring. All right.
By the way, we got a cute story about that from the precision rifle class 2 years ago. I think it was chemistry student.
Chem student. I actually got his boxes of black ammo up there. That's exactly what he brought. Hornady black 5.56 put through his precision 5.56 gun he had, and it was grouping terrible. Now maybe if you've seen Chem, you're like, maybe he's not a good shot. So we put Chad behind the gun, and Chad sucked with it too. Like, right, well, we know Chad can shoot. So, I'm like, hey, take some of my 62 grain boat tail. And he put it in the gun, and immediately Chem students went from this big at 25 meters down to that big at 25 meters. Literally tightened it right up. And my point for saying is the Hornady Black is good ammo. It is good ammo, but some guns don't always like every kind of ammo, especially when you start getting into precision rifle. And that's why I like hand-loading precision rifle. I don't hand-load 9mm to save ammo. I don't hand-load 5.56 to save ammo. I hand-load 308. I hand-load 300 blackout so I can make insanely accurate ammo, especially 308. I have got some 308 ammo that is so much more accurate than a lot of the stuff that's... I wish I could reload 338. My press isn't tall enough to do 338.
Don't have a Magnum. All right, so we have a super chat here that I'm seeing from James Swain.
James Swain, my uncle from Chico. How you doing, James? What is it? Go ahead and read it.
Hey, gentlemen, LOL. I think he means we're not gentle. Can you talk about how to adjust your aim with both rifle and pistol wearing a NBC suit?
Yes, hold on just a second real quick. First, I have a question for you, James. You reached out to me and we were going back and forth. Guys, James, you understand I cut James slack because James is my uncle from Texas, and I'm actually getting ready to go to Texas Sunday. James, we had talked about you and a couple of your sons coming to take class, and I never heard back from you confirming or denying. Understand I'm there for 4 classes back to back. I'm holding you a slot for all of them, but I'm not holding your kids slots for any of them. All you got to do is send me email. You can email me, message me on Patreon. You can call me on the phone. You can text me, James. Just please confirm or deny whether James Swain is coming to Combat Pistol 101, Combat Pistol Carbine, Carbine Zero Mastery, Advanced Pistol Carbine, and if James is bringing anybody else with them. And then if you are coming, and if you're bringing anybody, I need to know t-shirt sizes, James. Don't worry about the money. We'll work that out down the road. I know you're good for it. Now, to answer your question, as far as shooting with NBC suits, you guys will see the coolness, the latest hotness is instead of a guy running, this is that 1X Micro Prism by Primary Arms. I actually had to get one more from them so I could show one here at the live stream because literally all of mine are mounted on all my guns. I love this thing. I really do. This has got the normal height riser on it, right? Why? Because I'm a normal height guy, right? Stock of the gun, and when you...
But the aura, Carl.
Yeah, I got that. When you close your eyes and rest your cheek on the gun, you should be able to see, when you open your eye should be centered directly through the center of your optic. And if it's not, on a sniper scope, you adjust that stock up and down. on an AR that doesn't have an adjustable cheek piece, you raise and lower your riser right here, so that when you close your eyes and you're comfortable on the gun, when you open it, your eyes should be looking directly through the center, not left, right, not high, not low. You shouldn't have to move your head up and down. Remember, we talked about consistency of placement. My cheek is different than his cheek, is different than Heather Flyfish's cheek. All right, we all have different cheeks. Okay, you guys grasp that. Now, the latest hotness, if you go to Instagram and Facebook, all the pew pew guys are running risers that are that tall on top of their guns. They're literally...
But it's so cool.
And the reason for that is, Carl, I don't have to have the thing high on my shoulder. I can have it down better, and it comes up faster.
Except no.
All right, understand, tall risers are new for them. I got that. Tall risers are not new, guys. They're not. Tall risers were new in 98 when we started doing chem stuff, chem bio, wearing gas masks. We would literally, because wearing the gas mask,
you can't get a proper cheek weld.
With a gas mask on, I can't get that same cheek weld. I can't get it, guys. I literally cannot get that same cheek weld. I can't get it. So what we ended up doing back in 98. In 98, I'm old. Back in 98, we put the carrying handles back on our M4s, and we mounted our EOTechs on top of the carrying handles, which made it that much taller. All right. We didn't keep it like that. As soon as the Chem Bio mission went away, we immediately went back to normal heights until 2003. The initial invasion of Iraq, there was the threat that Saddam was going to slime Saudi and Kuwait with Scud missiles. My unit was doing the Seesaw mission, combat search and rescue, go into a slimed area to recover the pilot. We had to do the whole thing wearing gas masks. We actually switched to the Air Force gas mask that had one screen. Made it even worse. So again, we went back to mounting our optic on top of the carrying handle on our M4s. As soon as Saddam's chem scuds were out of play, we took that stuff off because we weren't going to wear gas masks anymore. Right? And it went away. Everybody went back to a normal height because height over bore inside the shoot house. Remember, height over bore, when you're aiming, you want to hit the guy right between the eyes. You've got to aim here, right? Height over bore.
That's normal.
Height over bore with a riser. Now you're putting your dot above the guy's head to hit him between the eyes.
Yep, no point of reference. So there's a couple other tricks.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm long-winded. You know this. I'm long-winded.
You?
No. The reason why it's the latest hotness right now is because everybody, our U.S. military, we're back in peacetime. Remember, we pulled out of Iraq, pulled out of Afghanistan. They're all sitting at home, and now they're like, holy shit, we're not fighting cavemen anymore. They have been told, be prepared to fight China, number 1, fight Russia, number 2, fight North Korea, number 3.
Iran.
Right? Iran's like number 12 or some shit like that. Nobody takes Iran serious. Why? Because it's Iran. I mean, seriously, right? I mean, our Navy, you understand, our Navy could knock the bottom out of the Iranian Navy in about 36 minutes flat. Our Air Force would get bored 30 minutes into it. Literally, we would just own the airspace. They'd be up there going, ain't nothing else. There's nothing else to shoot down here. There's nothing. Why would we put people in Iran? Why would we? The food is bad. The people are ugly. No, anyways, I digress.
Actually, I think the food might not be bad.
But to fight conventional war against modern troops, China, Russia, semi-North Korea, all of a sudden we're having to play catch-up again. And a lot of that involves what? Nuclear missile silos, which are You can say it, hard targets, which means, and chem bio labs, understand if there's a place you're going to go secure another nation's chemical weapons so they can't use them, you understand you can't just blow the walls open because it's chemical weapons. So now you're having to breach the walls and you're doing what's called hard target defeat. So now Broco torches, quickie saws, everything, all kinds of crazy stuff. And you have to wear respirators because all the gas is being given off. And there's the threat of chemical and there's the threat of biological. Basically, long story short, you're back to wearing gas masks.
By the way, there's precedent for chemical and biological weapons being used recently.
Yes, right? Like, and nuclear.
Yeah, but I mean,
everybody rattling sabers. They're rattling sabers because they have nukes, guys. They do.
Well, look, in Syria even, chemical weapons are easy for states to produce, right?
So back to James' question: how do you square your gear away to shoot with a right? That's James. No, that's somebody different.
He was talking about the point of it. Look,
to shoot with a gas mask. You can try canting the gun on its side, kind of like you were shooting 45-degree offsets. But understand that's not how the weapon was designed to be used. Canting your head sideways and cutting the gun. What you're going to find is if you plan on fighting wearing a gas mask, you need to have your gun set up with a taller riser. And that's why guys are running risers or they're running visible lasers on their guns. Visible at night with night vision. Now, if you want to know why I went with this gas mask, because this is from Mirror Safety, guys. Mirror Safety makes one that's got the big clear face mask that I was talking about, right? That my old unit switched to. The reason why I went with this one is I want you to see how deep those pieces of glass are set in. They're set deep so that I can get my bino night vision closer to my eyes. All right, so for me, visible lasers are IR because if I'm not fighting fair, I'm going to do it wearing nods. Now, my D-ball, whether you're running PAC-15s, whatever, they all have a visible laser and a IR laser. And that's why I will run lasers and I won't with this height riser, and why you won't see me going to the tall risers. Here's why. So why are our military units doing it right now? The reason why they're doing it is because the bad guys in a conventional war have nods. They have night vision devices that could see those IR lasers. That's truth to it. But the reality is you got to ask yourself, guys, how often are you're going to be fighting guys wearing a gas mask, number one. Number two, are you going to be fighting guys wearing a gas mask, fighting guys that have nods on? And you understand that window gets a lot smaller when you compare what are the odds of you having to defend your family in your home. So I'm not saying don't put a tall riser on one gun if you want to play with it, okay? But for me, I'm not a pew-pew guy. And what you're going to see is as soon as the military goes back to a normal height riser on their optics, you're going to see all the pew-pew guys go back also. Because like I said, it's not the new latest hotness. It's new to people right now. But it was new to my unit in 2003. It was also new to my unit in 98. And it sucked. Tall risers suck.
By the way, this relates directly back to a previous topic that we discussed today, which is your cheek weld, right? From a previous thing. Yes. I wanted to give a couple more pointers on cheek weld because cheek weld is supremely important, right? So if you think about it, for all those guys that are like, well, it's comfy to have my head up here when I'm shooting, you don't know how to shoot. Cheek weld does two really important things for you, right? The first one is getting that eye behind the optic the exact same way every
time. Consistently.
Right? And
guys,
that's key. That's key.
Don't think all your shooting is going to be at 3 meters. It's not.
Right.
I understand. I would rather engage the enemy at 300 meters. That way they can't hit me. They can't hit me at 300, but I'll burn them down all day long. So, guys, I'm good with a pistol past 100. I'm good with a rifle to 600 all day long.
So that's one piece to cheek weld, and I'll give you guys a little trick, my personal trick that works for me, for how to establish a good consistent cheek weld in just a second. The second importance to a cheek weld is recoil management, believe it or not, because 4 points of contact, right?
Yeah.
Support hand, firing hand, and then your stock placement and your cheek weld. So what I do, and essentially think about it this way. When you're holding a rifle, you want to bring that thing into your body. Your support side hand's job is pulling that rifle into your shoulder, which is not really your shoulder, right? It's sitting more towards the center here at the base of your neck. And so what I do is when I get into position with a rifle, do we have a fake gun here?
No. No fake guns.
So when I get into position, I'll place the stock, whether high ready, low ready, right? Place the stock, and then I will touch the top, right? The top of that stock to the bottom of my jawbone right here, and I will stretch that skin down on top of that.
And that locks
and
it
that
in for
skin,
you.
think about it. If I touch the same place on my arm and pull the skin, and pull the skin in one direction, at some point that skin's going to stop giving, right? So if I touch the exact same place every time and stretch that skin in the same direction every time, I'm going to reach the exact same spot every time.
All right, we got a couple more. We're falling behind on questions. Guys, I'm sorry we get long-winded. I got somebody asking if they could see the ATS tactical gear war belt called the Tactical Rifleman one. I know I promised I would have it here tonight. I'm sorry it's locked up in the tornado shelter. I'd send to Emery to go get it, but he can't get into the tornado shelter. All right. I stand corrected. New York City Drummer 23 did correct me. You don't have to ask the ATF for suppressors. Suppressors are not a weapon. It's for short barrel rifles or AOW. The only time you have to submit paperwork for suppressors is if you move permanently. All right. So I stand corrected.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No. He's correct. Now that he mentions it, it was when I would go to classes with my shorty AR. So I quit using it. I literally, because I have a registered short barrel rifle, but it's such a pain in the ass to go from state to state with it that I just quit taking it. It's my master bedroom gun, and that's where it stays now.
We got one before this.
Okay. We'll get to that one here in a minute. It's not going away yet. Okay. Malabanias, please describe the physical requirements to successfully complete the Combat Pistol 101 course. Show up. If you have a heartbeat, you can pass the class. Now, here's what I mean by that. The intent of my classes are to educate you guys. Take concerned citizens, whether they are civilians, whether they are law enforcement, whether they are military, whether they are former military, to take concerned citizens and make them into capable citizens. I take every shape, size, color, creed, religion. I could care less. We've had everybody from, I think the oldest person that has taken Combat Pistol 101 was, I think, 82, 87. He was in his early 80s. The youngest was 18 and 2 weeks. And I have had guys from, the smallest girl was 80 pounds. The biggest guy was just shy of 400. And it doesn't matter. So long as you can stand up and handle the drills. And here's the deal. You don't even have to. If you can't handle, ask James. He'll tell you, if you get too wore out, Carl, I'm not feeling good. I got to sit down. Roger that. We'll get you a chair in the shade, close enough so you can listen to the instructions, because I still want you to train. Take a break. You don't have to shoot every drill. I encourage people to come train. It is not pass or fail. It's not, because if my goal is to deliver the information to you to make the world a better place.
Having said that, understand that we run long days.
We run long days.
Especially the second day of, the first day of pistol carbine, but after the 101, where we also do a night shoot at,
if you come to combat pistol carbine, that's 2-day class. The first day, we start at 8 in the morning. We go till dinner time. I break you for dinner, and then we come back a little bit before sundown. We start talking about shooting with weapon-mounted lights and handheld flashlights and everything. And then when the sun goes down, we go out and we actually shoot the drills. And then you start the next morning, same time, and then we go till graduation. If you're on the fence, trust me, I have had. You can do it, dude. I've had people in wheelchairs take the class. Chairs has a heart attack.
As long as you want to learn and you want to.
As long as you want to learn, we want to teach.
Yep.
Next one, Random American, 20 bones. Start an envelope for proper tech support. Oh shit. What's wrong with my tech support? Is my mic not working? Are they
it doesn't
bitching?
exist.
They're talking about. If you guys can't hear me, tell Susan to let me know.
All right, here's one from like an hour ago.
Start an envelope.
Hold on. Here's one from an hour ago.
Okay.
It's like your eye surgery envelope. First thing, hey guys, the first day I met Carl, was it 3-4 years ago? The first day I met Carl, he takes me aside. He goes, hey, listen. Here's a tip for you. You're a shooter, I'm a shooter. Okay. Get an envelope. Invest in an envelope and start putting cash in it. And I'm like, all right, dude, what the fuck? He says, you take a marker and on the outside of the envelope, you write eye surgery. You keep putting money in there, and by the time you fill it, you're going to need fucking eye surgery. And I hate you for being right.
Because now you need eye surgery.
Because I need fucking eye surgery.
All right.
Hold on.
I got one here that says, don't read this out loud.
Guess what you're going to do? Hold on. Let me read this because this has been sitting here for an hour. Virtual rifle systems. Because look at this. Look. Hey.
What's up?
Look at that. I think you should read it.
Virtual rifle systems, $83.62. Wow. Carl Emery, hypothetical.
Because my eyes are better, right?
No, I don't care about
the
it.
Belarusian Navy has defeated / destroyed the U.S. fleet. Good luck with that, Belarus. And the Azov is now invading the U.S. mainland, because that's going to happen. If you could only have one, FLIR breach or PVS-14? I got an answer. You're not going to like it, but I got an answer. PVS-14, all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's why. First of all, I can see through windows.
Yes. Guys, understand, thermals are awesome, but thermals are not like in the movies. You can't see through walls. As a matter of fact, you can't even see through glass. You can't.
Yeah.
The shiny lens on the front of your thermal is not glass. It's germanium. And because glass does not transmit heat, basically. Your first nod that you buy, the first one you buy, I know everybody wants binos, everybody wants quads, I got that, everybody wants thermals. The first nod you buy, get a high quality PVS-14, get the best tube you can afford, PVS-14. Here's why, because you can run it on your helmet, you can run it on the head harness while you're driving, right? Because it's not like a thermal where all you see driving with a thermal is yourself reflecting off the windshield. Serious as a heart attack, right? So PVS-14 you can drive with it, but still your other eye can see the gauges in the vehicle. When you're out hunting or wherever, it can be hanging from a cord around your neck. Bring it out, look for the deer. All right, sun's getting ready to come up. I can hunt here legally in 23 minutes. Oh shit, there's a deer right there. Oh, I might shoot one a couple minutes early if I can see it, right? But also a PVS-14 you can put in your carry-on bag on a plane. You can put it in your go bag in your vehicle. It doesn't take up a lot of space like big set of binos that have to be mounted on a helmet.
Well, look, I mean, the FLIR makes small ones, but first of all, FLIR doesn't sell to us anymore, us civilians, because they're dicks.
Yeah, they changed their mind.
But, but the thing is, you're just going to get more use out of a PVS-14 than you are a thermal.
Yep.
Having said that, I've seen some ridiculous things through thermals. Ridiculous. But they weren't little handhelds.
All right. If Random American's still here, and I hope he is, I want to apologize. Apparently, I missed his super chat earlier, and it's not the only time I've ever missed his super chat.
Okay.
Brother, I'm sorry. I understand Susan and my other moderators, they all have day jobs. Right now, Susan is in Australia at work. It is not nighttime in Australia right now. So, I'll go back.
Do we have the question?
Apparently, we missed his question again. I'll go
Random
back, guys.
American. Random American. Isn't that all of us?
I didn't see where we missed his before. Guys, if we missed your super chat, I'm sorry. Donate Susan, because I'm only too deep, because JT has literally been he's in school right now, busting his ass, trying to make himself better. So I'm sorry if my guys missed your stuff. I'm sorry, Random American. You are not blocked. You are not blackballed. You are been randomly missed on accident.
We, however,
I'm sorry.
We, however, are blackballed and blocked.
I'm sorry I missed you guys. Sorry I missed you. Susan, Donut, you guys just do the best you can. If we miss people, I'm sorry. Sorry about it.
It goes back to optics, right? Yeah. How good is the optic? As good as the monkey sitting behind it. Yeah. How good is the computer? Same thing.
Hey guys, real quick, if I've got Tom Nagel here or Chris Stafford, I get guys that send me, they send me, and I don't want to embarrass them by me reading their notes, but understand, guys, and I'm not going to show you, but this is literally handwritten. I get guys that send me messages, words of encouragement, and I get guys that email me, and I have patrons that support me. I do. James Swain, a lot of you guys, they support me. Susan, Donut, everybody. But I have my military retirement. I have my medical disability paycheck. I teach classes. I resigned my old job. I took $100,000 a year pay cut, by the way. I do this, and understand these videos that we do on YouTube, most of them immediately get demonetized and get partially demonetized so that they can't say that they're completely demonetizing me. We've been shadow banned, everything else, and it doesn't matter. I do this because I'm trying to make the world a better place, right? And support my ammo habit. But the reality is sometimes this is a pain in the ass and it's a lot of work. And my daughter borderline hates me because I don't spend any time with her. My son has issues. My wife has issues. And it's because I'm not spending enough time with them. I have issues. I don't get along with half the voices in my head. Literally, I don't get along with them.
I like the other half.
My point for saying this is there's a lot of times that I want to quit doing this. Because, or I at least want to scale back. Instead of doing one video a week and one Patreon thing a week and one live stream a week, and then add in filming all videos and doing all this and getting ready for classes and answering comments and everything, because I read everybody's comment, right? I just want to take days off, and I teach classes on weekends, so I work a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I drive home Monday, and then I start getting ready again for the next class. And I want to throw the towel in so many times. And you know why I don't? Let me show you why I don't. Because of my patrons, number one. Because I get support from Heather Flyfishes and Robin and Chris and Barry and Doug and all you guys know, my patrons. I don't need to say you by name. You know how much I praise you guys and I love you, because I get notes, handwritten notes, guys that send me notes, and I got a guy that's on a fixed income. There's a Carl, I can't afford your lowest Patreon, but I'm not good at the computers. I put your money in an envelope. He's 100 years old. He writes a personal check. And wow. But to get personal notes from you guys. So for Chris and Tom Nagel, and you guys know who you are. I have guys that send me 5 Stone sends me coffee. Guys, tell me that isn't what I need, right? I have guys that send me Patron Cafe XO. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for the support, because sometimes, and it's hard on my wife, guys. Toughest job in the Army is an Army wife. Well, toughest job for a fag, former action guy who's doing this stuff. My wife has a much rougher job than me, and sometimes it's rough on my marriage. But you guys, and my wife reads the mail. She opens them before me, and she brings them to me, and she's like, "This is awesome. I understand why you do this." So, yeah, this Friday.
By the way, shout out to her, because she's a fucking badass.
My wife is awesome.
Yeah.
She is awesome. This Friday's video is the recap of Operation Valkyrie. You guys, we told you we were going to film Operation Valkyrie this year. If you guys are not familiar with that, that is our survival, precision rifle, unconventional warfare, kayaking excursion. I can't think of a better way to word that. But that doesn't do it justice. So we never filmed it because the following year we're going to do the same mission. We don't want to spoil the mission for people coming to do it, because it is role player. You're literally put in a scenario, kind of like a real training mission for a special ops unit. You do mission planning, you infill, there's Op 4, opposing forces. There's lots of role players, non-combatants that are involved. 9 clients. And like 30 role players and stuff, literally. So like when we do this class this next weekend, I've got all these students. I've got 5 instructors. Now, Operation Valkyrie, it's the exact opposite. We don't make any money off of Operation Valkyrie at all. So why do I do it? Again, because I'm trying to make the world a better place, even if it's only 9 people at a time. So, anyways, so we're not doing it next year because we've done it 4 years in a row. We're going to change the mission. And it takes me 18 months to plan it out. There's a lot of work that goes into this. So we're not doing one next year. We're not. Don't even try signing up. So, since we're not doing it, since it's going to be a different mission, why not film it this year? So Nutrient Survival sponsored. Actually, the CEO of Nutrient Survival bought the 9th slot. I had a guy back out at the last minute, and the CEO snatched it up before I even, dude, I would have given it to you for free. He said, no, I'll pay. So he's an old Army officer, Ranger qualified guy. He had a blast. Everybody had a blast. Everybody had a good time. So anyways, my son filmed certain parts, but the actual infill of the mission, my son couldn't go on that. So basically what we do is the instructors, the mentors that were there, we took helmet cam footage, and everyone, when they did the clearing the caves with UTM, I had a PVS 14 with an iPhone mount on it, and I filmed them clearing the caves. So anyways, long story short, my son took all that footage, and the intent is to do a big, long video, literally documenting everything. He actually did interviews of guys after each part. We filmed every guy clearing the caves. We did, so we're going to make you a long video that's no joke, over an hour long.
I'm surprised it's coming out so soon.
I know, that video is not coming out till later on in the year, because there's a lot of work that's got to go into this. That said, but I've had a lot of people asking, specifically patrons. They're like, hey, when do we get to see this? When do we get to see it? So my son Nicholas, he's awesome. He's doing a lot of our video editing now. He spliced it together, and he's like, Dad, what do you think of this? I'm like, can you fix the lighting on that? Understand my son is new at filming, so don't bitch about the lighting, don't bitch about this, everything. My son did an awesome job putting it together, but that is this Friday's video. It is the recap of Operation Valkyrie 2022. That's this plaque right here. We have every client sign it, the staff signs it and everything.
Which, by the way, even the plaque this year was made by Nutrient Survival. Right?
No. I had the same guy that made that one.
Oh, I thought that was his.
No, but they designed
Never
the
mind.
logo. They designed.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
He's close, but
I'm
not.
close.
You know why?
Close enough for government work.
He wasn't one of the advisors. Emery was actually one of the role players. So Emery had two jobs. One, he was in the safety boat. I had guys out in canoes. Mind you, this was
Kayaks.
February. So there was literally, I had guys out in kayaks. So snow, sleet, freezing rain. By the way, the water temperature is 34 degrees. All right. So we had this safety boat with the floating backboard and med gear and all kinds of stuff, recovery, this, that, and the other. In the canoe with Emery was Mike, our scuba qualified rescue swimmer, to jump in. And by the time they got there, the mentors would have already have either saved the day or lost the day. But that was Emery's primary job. But the morning of the final hit, Emery was actually played the part of one of the role players out fishing. And he was the guy to do bona fides before they would go do the meeting with Mr. Mike, the guerrilla commander. I don't want to spoil it for you, so you have to watch the video. That's this Friday. It's going to be a great time. I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I tried. I tried. Susan just reminded me that we are already coming up on 2 hours, which is okay. All right. All right. Cash me outside. Susan, Carl answered my question about barrel length. Can I ask for Carl answered my question about barrel length. Can I ask for clarification?
About the 26-inch barrel?
Okay. Yeah, what clarification?
If I understand correctly what you're asking for, the bottom line is if you get a 26-inch barrel on your 30-06 versus an 18-inch barrel or 20-inch barrel or whatever, you're going to get some more muzzle velocity. You're probably going to get some more accuracy, assuming the barrel was well made. Right, and you're shooting decent ammo and all that, but it's going to be a pain in the ass to walk around with. That's the bottom line. Yes,
right. Hey, I'm not meaning to interrupt. I just got a update from Amanda Murphy.
Oh,
Carl, this is Lanny's daughter. He is still on the ventilator and holding his own. They are hoping to start weaning his ventilator off tomorrow. Amanda, okay. That is awesome news. The power of prayer. We will still keep. I ask everybody out there, if you are a godly person, I ask that you keep Lanny in your prayers. If you're not a godly person, fine. Still give a shout out for Lanny. That said, if you go to Susan, would you do me a favor and in the chat window put the GoFundMe for that Amanda started for Lanny. So I understand, guys. I'd rather you give prayers for Lanny. If that's not your thing, that's fine. I don't care. I don't push religion on anybody, not at all. All right. But if you understand, I have shot a lot of people, and I know that I will have to answer for every time I pulled that trigger, and I'm completely good with it. Completely good with it. All right. Anyway, that's me. If you guys can't afford it, Lanny can't. I'm going to tell you right up. I've been to Lanny's house. I was on my way to a class, and I couldn't stay long. I stopped in to visit Lanny at his house. I understand Lanny is on a fixed income. He's cancer is doing their best to rip the soul out of this man. And his wife gave up her entire life to take care of her dad. And there's a dog, there's Amanda, and that's all Lanny's got. And literally, that's all Lanny's got. And it's not enough. Not enough. So, me visiting Lanny, humbled me that day and made me a better person, me being able to talk to Lanny face to face and realize that here's a guy that is that close to the end and still fighting a good fight every day, still fighting it. So Lanny has become an inspiration for me. And I ask you guys, if you guys can afford it, go to the Lanny Murphy GoFundMe and give $1, give $2. If you're one of my buddies from Wall Street, you know who you are.
I know who you are.
I'll call you motherfucker if you don't throw $200 in there, because I'll tell you I threw $200 in there, and I don't live on Wall Street, so I'll call you motherfucker to your face.
Yeah, we all threw cash in, guys.
There should be zeros behind that. They're really, and I don't mean to, guys. I don't mean to use a profanity in front of you, but I got a lot of friends that literally have private jets and private planes and have this and have that, and I consider them friends because they are good people. And even though a lot of people will tell you I'm not, I consider myself. I try to be a good person. And good people help good people. They do. They really do. So, anyways, New York City drummer 23, Marvin. Mm-hmm. Marvin, what's up, Marvin? Marvin just threw down a super chat. You want to get that one for me?
Sure. Mavin says, "Sup? Thank you for everything you and the
Marvin?
TR family do for us." Thank you, brother.
Sup, Marvin?
Thank you, brother.
Sup. Guys, I want to thank Marvin for his service. Marvin is up in New York City. Understand that's a shithole, all right? We have the San Andreas Fault for California, and I pray for that too. It's on my list, all right? I don't have that for New York City. I don't. I don't know. I was hoping Putin would do something for me. Putin don't like me. He don't like me. Is what it is. Chris Hogue threw down 10 bones. Medical combo shooting. What else? Guys, when you look at being prepared, Chris Hogue, excellent question, by the way. When you look at being prepared, and you can go to FEMA website. It's your website. Literally, you pay their paychecks. Go to FEMA's website. They will tell you to have 72 hours worth of supplies for emergencies in case the power goes out. Hurricane, tornado, whatever, right? Okay, earthquake, whatever, 72 hours. That's what they tell you. Have a bottle of bleach. This is how you treat water, with bleach. Because the reason why FEMA has to do that is because nobody's preparing. And when it happens, after the fact, that's when everybody's going to go to the FEMA website. And then they're going to have to use what's already in people's homes. So that's why FEMA tells you so many drops of bleach for dirty water, blah, 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 blah. But what they should tell people ahead of time is literally don't use bleach with detergent. With perfumes. Don't use bleach if it's over 6 months old or so many weeks old because it loses strength. Okay, I don't know how long a bottle of bleach sits in some lady's laundry room. I don't know, right? My point, though, is start there, but after 72 hours, be prepared for 2 weeks, all right? Because the reality is you get a bad ice storm or a bad hurricane. Katrina wiped out New Orleans, and those people, a lot of them had to go for 2 weeks before they got any help at all. Do 2 weeks. When you can take care of your family for 2 weeks, then I want you to do 4 weeks. When you can be prepared for 4 weeks, I want you to double it again. But what happens when you pass the 4-week mark, 1 month? When you pass that, what ends up happening is you start looking at the list of basic survival needs, all right? Shelter, air, food, water, all right? Fire, medical, communications. You start looking at that list, and what ends up happening is the blinders start coming off, and you start seeing, hey, I need cordless tools to repair the roof if part of the roof gets damaged because of the hurricane. Okay, I need to have that because the wife might hold the ladder, but she's not going up on the roof with you. She's not. You're not running an extension cord to run that drill in the pouring rain. I need battery-powered tools, but now I need a way to recharge them. All right, now I need medical gear because there's no next echelon of care. I need extra food. I need water sources because we still want to be able to flush the toilets. All right, I need this. And what ends up happening is the blinders start coming off and you enter a bigger world. All right, so right off the bat, Chris, go to, and you can go back through our video archive, survival, Google survival basics, and they're the same no matter where you go, because I did not invent this stuff, but there's a list, literally a list of survival basics, and what they are subjects, and literally air, for example. My go bag, I don't like the term bug out bag or nothing, but my bag of woe that sits in my vehicle for 5 years has had a set of sun, wind, dust goggles in it, right? And a mask. And everybody's like, oh, that's stupid. Why is he carrying a mask? That's stupid. Really? How's that working out for you now in 2021 or 2020, the great dumpster fire, right? So you see, you check in the blocks, and what you'll see is once you start looking at the basics, what do you have? What would be nice to have? And then once you realize what's nice to have, that list starts to grow, and it starts to grow. What do I do if I can't generate power to recharge my drill? Well, wouldn't it be nice to have a hand-powered drill? Right? You've seen those. You've seen them. Your grandfather had one. It served him his whole life. Perfect. He never used this his whole life. He didn't have... No, it worked fine for him. You know what? Those tools are still all out there. They're in antique stores. They work perfectly fine. And you know what? They're all American made out of good iron and steel. And they will last you a lifetime.
Yep.
But that's you go back, Chris, and look at our list of survival basics. And there's lots of great websites out there. Survival Blog is a terrible website, but it literally started off as a blog. But you go there, and there's a whole Wesleyan group. But he did a series of books, a Patriot series of books. You guys know I like Chris Weatherman, Angry American. I heard you were characters in his latest book, by the way. Serious as a heart attack.
No.
I haven't read it.
Really?
You, me, and Chad are characters in his latest. Serious as a heart attack.
He didn't tell me this.
He doesn't want to tell us. He hasn't told me. Other people on the internet have told me
awesome.
that the three of us are characters.
No
I don't know, right? Us and Alan Kay are
Alan?
up on some hill getting ready to drop the hammer on some guys from DHS or something.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
Anyways, long story short,
You couldn't have found anybody
I know.
better?
The Wesleyan books, The Patriots, are good books also. But if you go to Survival Blog, he has got whole Excel spreadsheets of stuff for guys to live off grid. And these are all the guys that live up in Idaho and everything. And if that's your thing, cool. I like Kentucky. But understand, they're safer up there, especially if you got all of his spreadsheets. Wow. I'm not saying go that deep, but I'm saying look at it and go, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Hey.
Those three out of those 300 items, if you pull 3 items off of it, you just made yourself a better person. That easy. Made yourself a better person.
And by the way, the items, I want to say this to all our preppers, right? Because we're all preppers to one degree or another. The items don't matter nearly as much as this. Your skill, your drive to survive, your knowledge.
We got another one?
And don't give up. Yeah. Oh, it's Jamie Gap. Jamie.
It's not Jamie Gap.
It says Jamie Gap.
Jamie, you do not have $50, Woodchuck. You need to be spending that on my great niece. Boy, Andre Cameron just threw that. No, don't acknowledge him, man. Don't acknowledge Jamie. No.
Plus, he's probably driving.
Yeah, he's probably driving. Jamie, I'm joking.
Jamie,
we love you. I invited Jamie to coffee this morning at 8. on the text
Yeah.
just because I knew he was still out in the middle of who knows where. The Fitty Bones can go to Sammy. Peanut just woke up to the live stream and is mad we are not home yet.
She is such a cute
Oh,
little
that's
thing.
funny. Hey, Jamie, guys, if you don't know who Jamie Gap is, he married my niece. So you understand that was a hard threshold. Understand if we didn't approve of Jamie, I would have hid that body so far away. It would have been gone.
Except Jamie's awesome.
Jamie is awesome. Jamie is good people. His whole family, dad, his mom, his sister's she's a lawyer. We tolerate Jessica. But Jamie, tell Jessica I'm joking. You know we love Jessica too. We love Jessica. But yeah, Chas is my niece, my wife's niece, and Jamie is awesome. We're gonna have Jamie on here probably in a couple of weeks after I get back from Texas, and we're gonna do Ask a Cop. Because Jamie was on the SWAT team, local cities, now a detective. But there's a lot of people that have mixed feelings about law enforcement, but a lot of them just don't know. So we're going to put Jamie Gap in this seat where Emery is. He's not going to look as good as Emery, right? Emery's the kind of man a man wants when a man wants a man. I don't know. Yep. Jamie, he's just a good-looking country boy from North Dakota. But anyways, we're going to have Jamie here. We're going to do Ask a Cop. You guys can interrogate him with all kinds of questions. It's a rough job. It really is. All right, David is here. David, first off, I want to give a shout out to David's daughter, Glow Pop. She's they came and parachuted at Round Canopy Parachute. David from Miami.
Yeah. What's up, brother?
His daughter, Amanda, her like handle on Instagram is Ring Pop 69 or something. So I call her Blow Pop or Glow Pop, anything but Ring Pops. I think it's funny as shit. But anyway,
right, so
David's good people.
say?
David, thank you for your service.
No, hold on. Let me read his thing.
David, 20 bones. Thanks, Carl, for all you do. As a veteran and current first responder, I know the sacrifice it takes to live a life of service. My hat is off to you and your family. Thanks again, Carl. David, sincerely, I appreciate that. David almost got his SF tab. He was actually in an SF group for a while. Wore a Green Beret for a while. He was on SWAT team.
We call him SWAT Dad.
EMS. Yeah. He's basically a SWAT medic, and he's a great guy. The cool part, though, what I really like about David is a great father and a great husband. He brought and you met her. Yep. He brought his wife and his daughter, Blow Pop. He brought Blow Pop out to Round Canopy parachuting team. Here's the deal. We had a great time, but he had and he didn't even know about Tactical Rifleman, but he had watched this video on the internet, on YouTube, that I did with my son. Remember, I took my son and we went and parachuted Round Canopy parachute team. We jumped out of the World War II airplane. Well, he wanted to do something with his daughter who had just turned 21. And so they show up, and I got to put them both through airborne school. It was truly awesome. She is a little pistol. She really is. She is motivated, sassy little Cuban girl from Miami. It's hilarious.
They did awesome, and they came back this time.
They came back again in March to jump out of the World War II airplane. So anyways, it's not out yet. The video is not out yet, is it?
Which one?
The one for this year. David, my son is working on... We didn't put it out yet already, did we?
I have no idea.
Yeah, let me look. I don't think it's out yet. No, I don't have it up. I have to pull up the... My son is putting together a video for Round Canopy Parachute Team for this last trip, David, and you're there. Remember, you jumped with us that last day. We had a great time.
One second. Really, hey, Chris, thank you. Here's a shot.
You doing a shot for Chris?
Doing a shot for Chris.
Okay. All right, that's fair. You can do a shot. I don't need a shot. I got the giggles from my cup of coffee already. David, you're great people, man. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, there's 10,000 channels out here, but I have you guys here hanging out. You guys realize we're over 2 hours already. Wow, 2 hours and 13 minutes. That's crazy. Andre Cameron just threw down a $20 bill. Sorry, did it wrong last time. I'm late to the party and just found out you were coming to my town, literally down the road, but of course had prerequisites I haven't taken with you. How
hard are those prereqs? Well, look,
there's no prereqs.
Hold on, it depends on the class. The first couple of classes, no prereqs, just come out.
Yeah, come play.
Right.
We would rather you take Combat Pistol 101 first because it's not basic pistol. It is our beginner to combat shooting. We literally get down to the physiological effects of your body when you go into fight or flight. That's literally how we start. You start in the classroom. From there, Combat Pistol Carbine builds off of that. Literally builds off of the pistol course because everything from here applies to here.
And by the way, if you've been to that class before, we're adding some new stuff.
Yes. Indeed. I've got a lawyer that has taken Combat Pistol 101 5 times, and he'll tell you he learns more every time. And I'll attest to that. The first time he took it, he could barely put it in the holster safely, and by the end of it, hell, I could have him demonstrating drills, and he still tells me, he's like, no, I'm coming back again next year.
And then he came out to comprehensive combatives.
Yeah.
I mean, he's...
Guys, on our calendar, you're going to see we're going to start adding concealed carry. We're going to start adding comprehensive combatives again. We had to leave the Louisville Armory for different reasons. But anyways, long story short, good stuff indeed. Lots of great stuff here. All right. I don't even know what that one means, but we'll see. All right. So anyways, Andre, if you want to come take the class, sign up. I don't want you coming and taking the advanced pistol carbine class until you've taken combat pistol carbine.
At least once, and you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I've had guys that have been like, well, hey, I was in the Air Force for 20 years. I already know. So I've made the exception for certain people. And they show up and they take it and they're like, man, I so did not know what I was getting into. They come back and they take combat pistol carbine and they learn and then they do better. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I know you're watching. I saw you in the chat room.
Guys, just so you know, 1 second. Just so you know, Combat Pistol 101 is also not 101. It's not.
It's not.
Right? I mean, it's 101 for combat, but it's not. We're not sitting there for half a day doing trigger work. Right, it's beyond that.
Bobby Axelrod won.
Uno.
Just threw down 5 bones. Shot for Emery out of Carl's stash.
There we go. Thanks, brother.
All right. You would. Here's the deal, dude. The couch. You're not driving tonight.
No.
I'm just saying. All right. Holly Movie Star threw down 5 bones. David was a great king and a subject matter expert on a sling and rock.
Roger that.
Indeed.
King David.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same David, but legitimate indeed. All right, guys, here's the deal. Susan, I knew you were going to bail on me, Susan. That's okay. She's throwing old pictures of me and Steve last... All right, here's another one from Jerry J. From Jerry J. How much is for skydiving DI license, Emery and Palatka? You're going to have to answer. Number one, okay. Emery doesn't have his D license. Emery just got his A license. All right.
But I do know. So look, to get your license... There's a bunch of steps. First of all, if you want to go skydiving and you haven't skydived before, what you do is you go take a tandem dive. So you're connected to somebody, you jump out of the plane with them.
Jerry J., the guy that broke his femur.
That's why I'm saying tandem. Jerry, go tandem. You're attached to a dude.
Jerry, don't. No. Jerry, you stay on the ground for a while. Let that femur heal up, dude. It's been a year. 1 year since you fractured your freaking femur.
That wasn't a fracture. That was an explosion. I saw the x-rays. Dude, that thing exploded.
Carl, I'm ready to do this. Smiling face, crying. Jerry, I love you, dude, but I don't want to see you get hurt because here's the deal. That's October. I want you to come down and hang out. You're welcome. But the following month is November. That's the Patreon course. And you know, we want you at the Patreon course. We want Heather Flyfishes and Phil W. at the Patreon course. We want Sherry Champagne at the Patreon course. I want all my nutbags there. I want James Swain there with his better half. I want Glenn and Susan Britcher there. Hell, I want Ray Craddock and his blushing bride to come all the way in from Hawaii.
Yeah, they haven't been in forever.
I want everybody to come together, and it just wouldn't be the same without you, Jerry. So you go collect soda cans off the side of the road. You save your money, and I want you to come to Patreon. Please don't break your leg again.
Oh, and bring those cheeses and like meats and all that
dude,
shit.
Awesome. I do have your helmet though. I got to give it back to you, Jerry. I do.
He doesn't need it. He's not leaving the house.
Chris Hogue threw down $5 more. Took the course last year. It was humbling. You got to get to the pistol carbine. You just don't know how much you can improve. Chris, yeah. Great time. I hope you're coming back, dude. I really do. I really hope you're coming back. All right, guys, we're coming up on 2.5 hours. And I know whenever I say I'm getting ready to say goodbye, that's when everybody starts throwing down super chat money. And then they get mad when I miss it because Susan's already gone because she had to go back to work.
It's like talking to Steve Holland on the phone. Brother, I got to go. Okay, one more thing.
They get mad at me, right? So I'm going to scroll up one more time. I already got that one. I did that one. Got that one. Jamie Gap. Jamie.
Hey.
Jamie, we're doing coffee. Emery will still be here. If you make it back.
I'll be here in the morning.
Emery will be here. You know the deal. We do coffee at 8 a.m. The Danish Kringle got eaten this morning, but we still have, I'll be doing shots of espresso.
I need to put out a shout out here. Hopefully there's enough people left.
Do a shout out.
Listen, so we're going to Texas next week in case you guys missed the whole last 3 hours that we've been running our suck. We have one more class to fill. Rawson and I, let me put it this way. I am helping Rawson. I'm assistant instructing Rawson on a TPC class. It's the handgun mastery class that we were talking about before. It's a 3-day pistol class. If you want the fundamentals to where those fundamentals, those core skills are badass, it's 3 days of that, of getting you guys awesome. And we need to fill a bunch of spots still.
So sign up. Because it's an awesome class. All right, where do they sign up at?
So you go to tacticalperformancecenter.com.
Tacticalperformancecenter.com.
Now the class is the first weekend of May.
First week of May, guys. First weekend, 3 days?
Yep, 3 days.
And it's a weekend.
It's a weekend.
All right. If you're in the area, honest, guys, here's the deal. I can actually recommend it. I'm a big believer in continued education. Emery brought Rawson into the Louisville Armory, and they were working on some classes. I, no joke, took time off, and I went and did the course with them.
Dude, I don't make it like I was an instructor. I learned right next to him.
Yeah, he was.
Chad, Carl, and I were shooting 1,000 rounds a day. It's not going to be 1,000 rounds a day now. That's what we shot
because we did it over a day and a half.
We shot a lot. What we've done.
He is such a great instructor, dude.
Rawson is incredible.
If you are new, he'll make you good. If you're good, he'll make you better. If you are already awesome, guys, he'll put you in the top 10 at that next competition. He will.
Yeah.
He's the guy that the pros go to fine tune. Seriously, the heart attack. I'm not making up. Rawson is worth his weight in gold. So, those of you guys coming to take our classes in Texas, you're going to get a chance to meet Rawson. Rawson's going to smile, and he's going to help all you guys one-on-one.
Plus, he's like the sweetest fucking guy ever.
Yeah, he's almost as nice as Emery is.
I thought you were going to be
some
serious
good
and say,
coffee, dude.
say he's almost as nice as Randy is.
5 Stone, if you're still here, dude, here's the deal. This is my last unopened bag.
I'm out of coffee too, dude. I've been drinking
seriously,
that shit all the
I have got this little single one, whole bean. I have 1 bag of whole beans left. So, dude, literally, and I know you gave me a ton. I know you did, but dude, man, if you saw how many, we busted out this morning. We started off the morning with the little espresso cups, and we did double espressos, pinky out. Mm-hmm. This shit was, if it was any darker, it would have been like the 5th plane of Hades.
Yeah, you had to drink it with a spoon.
It was darker than his T-shirt, guys. Literally, I make my stuff strong. And then after that, I frothed the cream and everything, and we started doing cappuccinos after that. But and then we stayed wired till about 1 p.m.
Till about now.
And then we did coffee again in the afternoon. So anyways, guys, I love this stuff. 5 Stone is good people.
By the way, let me say this about 5 Stone. Eric, the coffee's badass, but Eric does a lot of good for a lot of people.
Yeah, he does.
Just FYI. Yeah.
Yep.
Globally. Thank you, brother, for what you do.
Yeah. And guys, there's basically two coffee companies that I promote. One is Frontier Coffee. Again, use TR10 with them. He is a active duty SF guy, just made Master Sergeant. And he basically does coffee on the side. And he makes good coffee. I like his Annie Oakley blend. Frontier Coffee, great guy. He's in North Carolina, right outside Bragg. Go figure. Who saw that coming? 5 Stone, this guy's right here in Kentucky. He's hours east of me. Maybe 5 Stone, you can come visit me while I'm doing the Daniel Boone Trail in end of April. End of April, I think, is when I'm doing it. Last week of April, I'm doing the Daniel Boone Trail, which is just this side of the Appalachian Mountains. Maybe we can stop beside of the road and brew coffee and bump elbows, whatever. Good stuff. But anyways, he's good people, guys. So anyways, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors again, Zydax Computers. Sincerely, guys, why would a gaming computer company that makes custom computers for gaming and PCs and laptops, why would they care at all about a gun channel? Why? I'll tell you why. One, because I'm not a gun channel that does pew-pew. That's, guys, that's not me. It's not me. I'm about making the world a better place, and that is everything from GMRS radios all the way down to medical kits and everything in between. And part of that includes me having backup comms like my Spot X, and but computers also. So when they started expressing interest, I'm like, I will not say no to Zydex at all. They're good stuff. So anyways, check them out, Zydex.com. And there's a lot of guys that say, well, man, you can make your own computer and save a little money. That's fine. But understand, you know why I don't do it? Because I did it back in the 90s. And it didn't work. It didn't work. I wasted, instead of spending $1,000 for a state-of-the-art computer, remember this was the 90s, I decided to save money and do all the parts and do it for $600, and it didn't work.
Ended up spending $1,600.
So I ended up spending $1,600. No, I actually had an SF guy take my stuff, and for like $300 more, ended up fixing it. I got my first family computer, nice custom-made one, for $900, and it took me 3 months longer to get it than it should have. Zydex.com, Xidax Computers, awesome stuff, guys. They make good stuff, especially if you're a gamer, or if your kids are a gamer, or if you just want insanely fast speed for uploading the latest YouTube video to your YouTube channel. Anyways, check them out, guys. Check them out. Again, Zydex, I appreciate you guys sponsoring us here tonight. Good stuff indeed. I want to thank Emery for coming on. Put that karambit away, dude. And yeah, it's good stuff. It really is. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. I do. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I don't see any more new questions showing up, so we're going to call it, right? And I will see you guys. Now, remember, I'm leaving Sunday, so I will be doing the live stream next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. But I'm going to actually do it from the hotel lobby in Texas. Emery will have just rolled in. But here's the cool part. I'm going to have the other instructors there. I'm going to have a bunch of patrons there also. I'm hoping Susan and Glenn Britcher show up. Who knows, right? But we're going to have a bunch of patrons that are staying there. I think I told them what hotel I'm staying at. So hopefully I've got a bunch of people there. And we'll rotate them through, kind of like we do at the Patreon course. It'll be a good time. Good time indeed. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Parting words, Emery?
Stay Jewish.
How about y'all take care and shoot straight?
Incoming right there. Incoming right there. Incoming right there. Incoming right there.